What's up, gamers, and welcome back to another episode of the Spawn Point Podcast. Number 6?
6.
Still doing the damn thing?
Still doing the damn thing. Woo!
That's awesome, dude. We're not going to stop.
Nope.
We're never going to stop.
Nope.
As always, my name is Jason. I'm here with Cam. How was your week?
Just great. I don't know. Weather's warming up around
Right?
here. That's nice, but I mean, it's another one of those. Everything melds together. Big release week this week, which we're going to get into in the
That's for
gaming
sure.
section, but nothing too crazy. What about yourself?
No, yeah, it's got me excited for the PlayStation and making me really want to get a PS5. I joked about trading my Series X in for it, and Cam's like, can't do that, man.
Well, I
Still
thought you were
need an
being
Xbox
serious.
in
I
this.
mean, you don't need it. You can definitely switch. I would not judge, but I just wouldn't.
No, I know, but like, we kind of need an Xbox still in our
Do we?
in our conversation. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe we don't.
No, I don't know.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, this is one of those, another just kind of not too exciting week outside of the gaming world. Nothing
Mhm.
really too excited
It's
happened.
another old damn week.
Just another week. So, yeah. Although I do want to mention something. So, I wanted to cover split fiction a little bit
Mhm.
on this show. So, my daughter and I kind of sat down, and it's got game share and everything. So we started playing it, and yeah, I don't think I'm going to be covering it because
Oh.
I find somebody else to play. It's a fantastic game, but she was getting really frustrated with, she's 11, and she plays a lot of Roblox and that kind of stuff. So maybe a game like Split Fiction is just still too. I don't know. It's not that it's difficult, but the mechanics and stuff, maybe she isn't quite there yet. So, but it also got me thinking, like, she was getting really frustrated, and she's like, "Don't watch my screen. Don't, just let me figure it out." I'm like, "Whoa, easy." Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? And I said something to my wife. I kind of just gave her a look, and she's like, I'm like, "Where did she get this from?" She's like, "From you." I was like, "What? I'm not like that." And she's like, "Maybe not anymore, but you used to be." And I was like, "Shit, you're probably right." Like, but what I found is, like, as I get older, I just stay away from the games that I know do
Sure.
that kind of shit to me.
Mhm.
You had mentioned but it's the frustration in me, and I I remember when I was playing Demon Souls for the first time, uh, I ended up on my PlayStation controller squeezing it so hard and bending it that the buttons popped out. And I was like, dude, I got to stop.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. And I don't remember what the other I remember breaking 2 controllers in my however many years of
Mhm.
gaming. That was one. And I don't remember what the other game was. I really wish I did. But it was obviously an older game because I was playing on a wired controller.
Mhm.
And I remember standing up, spinning the controller with the wire, and slamming it on the ground, and buttons and shit went everywhere. And I'm like,
Oh, jeez.
yep, can't do it. So I don't know. It just got me thinking, like, have you ever been that kind of gamer? Are you still that kind of gamer?
No, I don't think I've ever gotten to that point. I mean, I always, I've had some throw my controller moments, but I'd always throw it into a pillow or something. Like I'd always,
Yeah.
I had enough restraint
Probably
to not fucking yeet it at something. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really let that shit get to me too much. I mean, honestly, if a game gets like that, I just move on. But that's kind of how I've
Yeah,
always been with it.
else.
Or if you, like I said, I like the Souls games, so I can go into those with the right expectation and know that I'm in for a little bit of a frustrating session. So it's
A little bit of a challenge.
yeah. I don't really I've never been that
Yeah.
I've never been that way, but I will say I do get gaming burnout occasionally.
Mhm.
Almost seasonally, it kind of seems like it's like when
Yeah.
the weather gets really nice again. I find it hard to like. I find myself slowing down on gaming a little bit, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's related or not, but that's it for me. I don't really get that angry.
Oh, sure.
But
No, that's cool. Yeah, just something I thought about. I hadn't thought about that in a while, and I
Yeah.
was like, God damn, I guess I did used to be like that. So she's at the age where, I mean, she's probably still younger than I was when I really was like that, but I'm like, God damn it, I passed that down to her. That sucks.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes. But I will tell you, split fiction is crossplay. I will play with you.
Okay. Have
Um,
you played it?
nope, I've not played any of these co-op
Oh,
games at all. So I do want to. We're gonna check out Orbitals in the summer.
yeah,
We talked about,
absolutely.
and then yeah, maybe we'll do this one too. I'll keep you posted. It's
Yeah,
just so hard for us to coordinate times to
I know it
to
is. It
hop
really
on in
is.
game, but
Yeah.
I
So,
will. I'll look into it. I think we can do that. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
okay.
I would love to dive into it. So since you spent the
Yeah, I
money on
mean,
it,
we
let's get
played
your
the
money's
first.
worth.
Yeah, we played the first. I mean, maybe 45 minutes, and we definitely had some fun moments. Like, there's some really interesting moments where like one player has to distract like these ogres while another player runs through, and then so we did have definitely some fun moments. We we
Hmm.
we can definitely try it again. And then she'd run around like you're set off on two paths, and then she would run around and come back down the path that I just went. I'm like, no, 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 and she ran right back into the ogres. I'm like, we already passed that.
Yeah,
So
my wife and I have
just
done the
fun little shit
same
like that.
thing. Like when we play games together. Like I don't like I can understand that I have more experience in gaming than she does. So like when we play stuff like this, just because of the amount of games I've played, I understand how games work. So I will get to a point and then I'll just kind of be waiting for her to kind of figure it out. And then what that
Yep.
turns into is my wife getting frustrated. Like, I'm just not good enough to do this. I don't understand it. I don't, you're just sitting there waiting, stop watching me doing this, that, and the other. So it's always a little bit of a troublesome thing
Yeah,
with a
that's exactly what we
non-gamer.
had.
Yeah, so it's just
Hmm.
that's a normal thing, I guess. It just depends on the
Sure.
person you're playing with, whether or not they are going to feel guilty that they're holding you back or not. Basically, even though we
Yeah,
know going
it was.
into it that's going to be what's going to happen. It's still frustrating from their side. So
Right.
I get it, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I get it.
it's unfortunate, but
Yeah,
maybe we just got to play like we're dumb a little bit more, and that'll make it more enjoyable. I don't know. I
that's
don't
hard,
know.
man. That goes to the whole thing, the whole let your kid win in Mario Kart thing, and I'm like,
Yeah,
nah,
can't do that. That's
nah,
unacceptable.
right.
Yeah, good one.
Anyway,
Yeah, good question.
yeah,
Go ahead and do the housekeeping. Get this out of the way. Rapid
yes,
fire. Lee, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, please. We would appreciate that. We are trying to get to 50 subs so we can live stream directly on YouTube. YouTube's kind of our main
let's get
platform.
it.
YouTube's kind of our main platform as far as uploads and things like that. We do have a mix of original content and live stream podcast clips and live stream clips and a bunch of shit going up there. Something new every single day gets uploaded to YouTube. So consider liking the pod, subscribing, commenting down below. All of that stuff would be very appreciated. If you're watching on Spotify, consider leaving us a rating and a comment on that platform as well. Would love to hear from you on there. We also have a Twitch page, twitch.tv/SpawnPoint Network. That's not a priority for us at this point, but if you do want to go over there and preemptively subscribe to that, you certainly can. That's more of a community bonding platform than a community building platform, and we're focused on the building aspect of things right now, but we still pop on and do live streams on there from time to time. So check us out over there. If you want to get a hold of us, you can reach us on Blue Sky, X, Facebook, TikTok, pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
We're all over the place there. I will say I don't post on those yet because I don't really use social media much, so I don't know what types of things you guys would want me to post on the social feeds. But we're there in case you want to contact us on there. That's kind of what they're there for. I'll look into post on there in the future. And then, of course, we have a Discord channel, Spawn Point Network. Links are on all over YouTube, and I think the link also works on Spotify. You can join the Discord community where we talk games, food, music, a bunch of random stuff. Trying to build that community up. Do have 8 founders badges left, and unfortunately, I learned, not unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, the 2 founders badges that were claimed were coworkers of ours. So I was super excited that we got 2 randoms.
Yeah.
I'm still very excited, even though we know them personally. So shout out to Devin and Jordan. for that. That's really awesome. But there's still 8 more available if you guys want to go over and claim those for yourself. And then Jason, I think there's an email that we have that you can contact us at.
There is. I think it's spawnpointnetwork@outlook.com.
What was it?
Spawnpointnetwork@outlook.com.
Yes, spawnpointnetwork@outlook.com. Send us your emails, concerns, comments, criticisms, all that stuff there. We would appreciate it. We did get some criticism comments this week. Basically, they were just calling us bitter old men, which is fine. I respect that decision. However, I will say this also. Our approach to responding to negative comments, not really negative, well, they were negative comments. Basically, if you comment like insulting us, we're just going to ignore it. If there's a little shred of criticism in there, I'll try to respond to the criticism aspect, so on and so forth. So that's kind of it. It's just kind of a tone reset. That's kind of my goal there. Is like if you're gonna immediately just come in and call us whatever, we're probably not going to even respond. It doesn't warrant a response. But if I can alleviate some criticism, I'll do that. But I'm not going to like post the 2 comments that we got that were a little bit negative in the community section. Those people are not going to convert to active listeners. That's not our goal. I just wanted to mention we did get that. That's our content strategy for those comments in the future. Other than that,
we're not going to do any a back and forth arguing in our comment section of our videos. So
nope.
if there's nothing in there worth talking about, we're just going to ignore it.
Yep. So that kind of wraps that up. But again, I do appreciate the comments, I guess.
That's what I told you. I was like, somebody's watching.
Yeah.
And
if you're impulsed enough to comment and call us bitter old men or old men yelling at clouds, I guess that's better than no comments. So we'll take it.
I didn't quite get that one, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think our take was that off base either, but it doesn't really matter.
It wasn't. It doesn't. We're already doing it. We're talking about it.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know that. So if you see that on our weekly feeds, if you're keeping up to track with our videos and you see those comments and we don't address them, that's why. So at least got to be criticism that we can talk about and not just a negative, slanderous type of comment. Either way, I think that's it for housekeeping. I think.
I like it. I love it.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yep. Not on that front, but I did want to mention that I did it.
Oh boy.
I beat Big Hops.
Oh boy. It's a sad day, man. This is a sad day, man.
This is episode 6, and we talked about Big Hop since episode 1. It's freaking nuts. I've told you multiple times. I was like, of all the games that I thought we would not be talking about still.
I'm gonna make a dedicated video for Big Hops on the YouTube channel where I'm gonna cut out every segment where we talked about it for the first 6 episodes, just in memoriam of Big Hops. Before we go into this conversation, spoilers ahead for Big Hops. By the way, we're gonna conclude this conversation right now.
Yes,
so it
needs to be done.
If you don't want spoilers for this game, feel free to skip ahead in the timestamps, but you're not missing a whole lot even if you stick around. I will just be honest. But either way, Jason, what'd you think of the end of the game after you finally got her done?
Well, I was a little torn. One, I was just kind of glad to have it wrapped up, and 2, the ending, that wasn't all that memorable or special. You had mentioned you were trying not to split for me, and you were like, hey man, you don't really need to worry about those badges and all that stuff because it kind of doesn't matter at the end. And it really freaking doesn't.
No, not at all.
We've talked about this so many times, but like this otherworldly creature that's basically has kidnapped you. You finally do all his freaking errands and all this shit that he wants you to do, and you finally go to the very last I don't even know. It's in the void area, so it's not really one of the biomes. I mean, it kind of is its own biome, but it's different than the rest of them. Yeah. So you finally go back to this last void biome, I guess you call it. And you are then tasked again with going back into the 3 main biomes that you had already completed and collecting, what are they, light?
Yeah, they're like light drips, I think. Yeah, I think you're right.
Light drips. So you spend the whole game going and collecting these dark drips. And before I go too far, I I don't really know if I understand what's happening at the end or if I just really didn't care at that point. I didn't know what these light drip. I didn't really know what I was doing by the end. I was kind of in that point where I'm like, I just want to get this game done. I just want to roll credits on this thing. So
Yeah.
anyway, these portals open up and you see the 3 images of the 3 main biomes that you've already spent too much time in.
Hmm.
And I saw that and I'm like, dude, I'm not going through these levels again. And I jumped into the first one and you don't really have to. You only spend what, a few minutes, 5 minutes in
Yeah.
each one collecting these light drips and you jump back out. So basically you jump back into each one of the 3 biomes for 5, 10 minutes most. And then yeah, I think I shut my brain off because
Yeah.
I did all that
Hmm.
and then it's kind of over. Like
Yeah.
I don't even
So,
remember what.
I mean, that's saying something because I kind of feel the same way. But if I look back on it, it's trying to tell a story of friendship. It seems like Dis is
It
very
is.
lonely, so he basically kidnapped Hop at the end of the game as kind of a way to build a friendship or something along those lines. It was very, very
But Hop turns into like a form of Dis.
yeah, he does.
Like this,
The
it's
last
weird.
when you mentioned you got to this section where you saw the biomes, my heart sank. I was like, you got to be fucking with me.
That's
Yeah, I'm like,
yep.
there's no. If I have to go back through all this again, I'm just done with this game. This game's far
Yep.
too long. But yeah, you go in there and
Yep.
you're basically super Hop, and you can fly, and you pick up the light drips, and the light drips are extra jumps. So it's like this weird path that you have to take through each biome. It's kind of like a
Well, the light drips themselves aren't the extra jumps. You get these other things that have
oh
never been in the
yeah,
game
that's right.
this whole time, and you collect these. They almost look like jacks, like the old
Mm-hmm.
ball game with jacks. They
Yep.
kind of look like that, and they're floating, and you can jump. And as soon as you get one, you can you get an extra jump, and you can end up building a whole trail of these things
Mm-hmm.
behind you. And each one of them is another jump. And then every time you do a double, triple, quad jump, whatever, it uses one of those. So eventually they run out, but they're
Yeah.
scattered all over, and you can keep using them. So
Yeah,
I
that's
I
right.
kind of was like, man, why aren't these in the? And then you use those to collect these light
Light
drips.
drips, yeah.
So yep, yep.
This game definitely would have been much better if it was a little bit more condensed. I think that me and you both agree this game was just too bloated. It just wasn't.
There's a lot.
It just wasn't really unique enough in the 3 biomes on offer here that it needed to be that in depth, and I don't think it needed to be 15 hours long. It had no reason to be. It would have been a much better experience for me if it was in the kind of 8 to 10 range as opposed to the 10 to 15 range, just because, like we mentioned, we both got to that point where the developer clearly wanted you to get to that point, and you see the biomes pop on the mountain or in the void, and you're like, oh yay, more. But for us it was like, oh fuck, more.
No.
So I think that's the wrong that just indicates to me maybe some pacing issues with the game. But all in all, I think it was very charming. I do think the game was definitely serviceable. I know you don't like ratings, but do your best for me. Give me a out of 10.
I still thought it was good, and I think of good as somewhere around the 7. I was kind of torn between like a 6.5 to a 7.
Yep.
Somewhere in there. Probably more on the 6.5. I don't know. Somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably go up to a 6. I still think it's just an average game, but it is charming. I think the art style is nice. I think the game plays well, even though you're just janking your way through it. So it's not just average. It does have some nice qualities, but ultimately that score is getting reduced just because of the bloat there. Did you do like any of the race events?
Race events?
Oh no, you didn't do those. I only did one in the desert, the first biome where you have to you have to collect all these little, you have to go through all these gates.
God, I forgot about those. Yes, I did a couple of them.
I just did the first one.
I wasn't that.
Mechanics aren't really
that interested.
No, me either. Anyways.
No, the game doesn't. It's almost not designed to do that kind of thing. It was fine, but
yeah, it was just a little side activity.
Need that, and then just to top it off, the ending it was kinda anticlimactic, I would say. I
Yeah.
mean, you do end up going back to your home village or whatever, the forest,
Yep.
where you were
I remember
initially
that.
kidnapped from, and then your sister and your mom are like, "Oh,
Eh,
hey, how you been?" And I'm
yeah.
like, "Dude, how long was this freaking frog gone for?" Like,
Felt like fucking
obviously, they were
30
like,
months for me.
"Dude," for a long freaking time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, and then it just kinda ended, and then I it was kind of fun during the credit scene
Oh,
while
yeah. The
the
shooter.
credits are scrolling, you
Mhm.
can use your tongue to knock all the people's names and stuff out. I don't know,
Yeah.
it didn't do anything,
Uh-uh.
but I went
Nothing.
through it just to see if there was something else
Same.
at the very end, and
Same.
there wasn't. So,
Nope, it was just a little fun
yeah,
thing to do, but, yeah, that's Big Hops, man.
that's Big Hops.
It's the first,
Conversation over.
yeah. I won't hear about it ever again on this show. Well, yeah, I don't think this is making my top 10 at the end of the year. I will say that.
No,
So
no,
probably
for
the
sure
last
not.
time you hear Big Hops, but still, it's a momentous saga for the Spawn Point podcast because
For the Spawn Point
it's
podcast.
been on the first 6 episodes we've had some conversation on it, but I'm glad you got through it.
Crazy.
Thanks for suffering through it. Not really, kind of, sort of. I mean, it is kind of a suffer towards the end. Let's be real.
Towards the end, yeah, it was.
But yeah, Big Hops, fun one. Glad we
Cool. Yep.
got that one out of the way. The next game I want to talk about, I don't have footage for, is Ultros. Now, we talked about this on the February Megapod because this was a game that was released for PlayStation Plus in the subscription service. If you have the subscription service, I didn't know what it was. Jason championed it a little bit during that. He stopped the whole conversation because he had to say this game was really cool, and I was like, all right. So in typical Cam fashion,
I believe I said the art style was really cool.
sure, something like
But
that. You said something because I played it. But
I said something.
in typical me fashion, I can't accept that I don't like a certain genre anymore. So I figured I remember Jason talking about it, so I downloaded it. And well, it's a Metroidvania, like I said. I've slandered Metroidvanias on the show probably in about every episode. So I kind of knew going in probably wasn't going to be for me all that much, but I was excited to see the art style, and I will say the art style in this game is fantastic. It's got a very, very wild color palette. It's got some interesting mechanics for the Metroidvania genre as you're jumping around and platforming. You're killing these basically bugs, and depending on how efficiently you kill the bug, that determines how much the meat or food that they drop will heal you, I believe is how that mechanic works.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yep.
actually a really unique system that I appreciated. That was very, very cool. So I was playing through this. I was having a really good time. I'm not even going to lie. I was like, damn, this ain't too bad. The map's not overly complicated. I'm not really lost. I'm having a great old time. The mechanics seem fun and everything, and I'm starting to get some new upgrades. We're moving. I could probably maybe keep playing a Metroidvania finally. And then I got to a point where I did some objective and my character died, and then I woke up in the same spot that I started at the beginning of the game with no upgrades, nothing available. And at that point I realized it is a roguelike Metroidvania, which sounds like torture to me. I don't like exploring the first place in these types of games because I just get lost and I'm wandering all over the place, and that is the whole point of this game. So I played it. The art style is great, but boy, oh boy, there's never been a game that is not made for me more so than Ultros. So that's what I wanted to say about that. But cool art style. You can download it for free on PlayStation Plus. I don't have anything else to say about it.
No, that's cool. I did play this one a while ago. I couldn't even tell you when, but I saw that it was on like a deep sale once on the Switch. So I checked it out. I didn't get very far in this one either. I got a little farther than you. I did have that same feeling. I'm like, I get that that's kind of how the term Metroidvania is, in every one of them, like you either start with all your stuff and then they get stripped away, or there's a cutscene at the beginning where it shows that all your shit's stripped away. So like that's kind of part of these things. But like when you start a game with the upgrades and all the fun stuff, and then you take it away, it's like, ugh, it just kind of hurts. You know that you gotta throughout the course of this game, you're gonna go and get all that stuff back. So Yeah,
It's
I don't
not
want to touch
just
on the Switch.
that though. Like Super Castlevania or what's Symphony of the Night, right? You have all the
Mhm.
weapons at the start of the game. You fight Dracula, and then
True.
he takes all your shit away. So you start the
Mhm.
game with everything. In this game, you have a little segment where you're collecting shit, so you feel like you're progressing. And then he fucking rips everything away and everything, you
Right.
start back at nothing. And it's like,
That's
Jesus
mhm.
Christ. Like I just did all that
Good point.
shit to get all that, and then you take it all away from me. So yeah, it was
Mhm.
a soul crushing experience for me, unfortunately. So I don't think I'm going back to that, but I did want to mention that I did touch it, and you guys can too if you have PlayStation Plus.
Yep.
That's about that
I'm
for
surprised you
Ultra.
even touched it. I'm glad that you gave it a shot at least. So
It's gonna happen. I refuse
yeah.
to accept that I don't like a genre, so I keep you know proving myself right
Right.
over and over, and I will
Yep.
continue to do that over and over. I just can't
Yep.
not do it. It's like self mutilation or something. I enjoy it too much. I don't get it. Anyways, let's move on
Right.
from there. Jason, what you got
Let's
for
move
us?
on. All right. So, I finally decided to talk about Pokemon Legends ZA, the latest in the Legends series of the Pokemon games. I am not like a huge Pokemon guy. I appreciate what they are, but what I feel like I found in this is I think I like the Legends formula more than I do. Like I didn't touch Scarlet and Violet. Well, initially when they were running on the Switch One, it was extremely poor performance, and I saw some gameplay footage, and I was like, "This is not. This is too much for this system." It did get a an update on the Switch 2 with much better performance, but by that point, I was kind of like, I don't feel like it anymore. Like I just didn't feel like touching it. So when they announced this one, I was like, well, I really did like Arceus, the first Legends game, and this is the same gameplay style as that one. It's all kind of real time, um, battling, and I thought that was cool. And it is condensed to this Lumio city, um, which at first I was like, God, I don't know if you can make enough of a poke. I mean, one of the big things about these games is going out into the wild and collecting these Pokemons. So I didn't know how it was going to work, but honestly, I think at least for me, this is my kind of Pokemon game. A little bit more kind of condensed, not too bloated with all this extra crap going on. Everything seems like everything moves at a good clip. You can go from one area to the next to the next. Everything just keeps moving. With Arceus, although I didn't enjoy it, there was a lot of like big open world areas that were kind of empty, and eventually got to where you're like having to run back through those to get to, the next area that you unlocked. So I I was a little turned off by that, but in this one, everything's just in this. I mean, the city is pretty big, but not too big that it's like overwhelming. Everything seems very very compact and condensed. Kind of getting ahead of myself. This has been out for a little bit. It came out on October 16th of last year, 25. So, um, like I said, I'm not a huge Pokemon like historian, so I don't really know all these areas, but you go back to the Kalos region, which is where this Lumios city is. And there's this massive urban development project that's going on to kind of bring the point of this like city or whatever is they want to make it more like a better living environment for both Pokemon and humans. So they're trying to do all this stuff to kind of bring just a normal relationship between humans and Pokemon. So, um, but yeah, instead of like having these like big wild zones out in like these open world areas, they're kind of set up obviously with inside the city. So there's like these green colored gates, and then if you open up the map, you can see like the whole area that this wild zone covers. So you can go in there and collect, the Pokemon that you want to basically incorporate into your party. There are some just out in the regular city area, but they're usually kind of lower level and not as rare of Pokemon. You get those by going into these wild zones. So these wild zones are like humans can go into them, but they're basically designed to have Pokemon be living free. But what do? You go in and you freaking kidnap these Pokemons and put them into your party. The whole Pokemon, like, I get that they're kind of like pets, but you're kind of like kidnapping them.
You're abducting them, yeah, at the end of the day.
You are abducting them. I mean, I get that that's the whole point, but it's always seemed really weird to me. But yeah. So where Arceus, the previous Legends game, was all out in big open areas, this has a lot more verticality into
Hmm.
it. So a lot of ladders, elevators, things that you can climb. There's a lot of like even like these little challenges where you have to like climb the scaffolding. There's a lot of scaffolding and stuff all over the place because, like I said, they're 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 doing some stuff to the city to kind of make it a better home for both humans and Pokemon. So scaffolding and all this stuff set up. So there's like the little challenges and stuff uh scattered throughout. So I haven't like beaten this or anything. I'm still kind of this is one of those games I'm just kind of slowly kind of plugging away at here and there. Yeah, I'll probably eventually get there, but there's a full, like, day and night cycle in this. During the day, you do a lot of your side quests, your main quests, and things like that, and then as soon as the sun goes down, it gives you this whole, like, little animation thing that the sun is setting. Then it goes into this ZA Royale, which is kind of like the whole point to I wouldn't say the point to the game, but it's you're trying to uh rise up in the ranks of this Pokemon tournament. So you start at Z and your whole plan is to go all the way up to rank A. So during the nighttime, it's random. There is a section of the map that's set up to be this battle zone for the tournament. So every night you can choose to go in or you don't have to. But if you want to rank up, you have to go in and battle these other trainers to essentially level up your ranking in the ZA tournament. So, yeah, I like I said, I haven't like beaten it, so like I can't really tell you like kind of what happens at the end yet, nor would I probably want to spoil it. But it's I like the real time stuff. You give actions to your Pokemon. You can move around the the battlefield, and you can actually be hurt yourself. So
Hmm.
like if the other Pokemons typically will target your Pokemon, but if you're standing in the way or if they down one of your Pokemons and you don't throw another one out in time, they'll target you, and you can actually I think they just call it like you pass out or whatever.
Hmm.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. The Mega Evolution is also back in this, which I guess is a long time thing that a lot of diehard Pokemon fans have liked. So you can really Mega Evolve your Pokemons. I've only done it to one of mine so far, so haven't touched on that too much. But yeah, it's charming game. There one of the weird things though is there's a lot of like dialogue and stuff, so there's like a whole story going on. There's no voice acting.
Hmm.
So like at all. And and normally that would be fine, but like there's a lot of these like cutscenes and stuff that like kind of have this emotion behind them. And like your character will kind of give this look, whatever, and like the character you're talking to has this like angry face or whatever, and you're just reading the text. So it just kind of
Hmm.
like it takes you out of that like the emotion that they're trying to portray. So I don't know. I
For
thought that
sure.
was kind of odd, but yeah, I don't really know what else to say on this. Kind of touched on the main things that I wanted to.
Yeah,
So
you covered it in great detail. I've not played Arceus or this one, so I don't know shit about dick about this, but you basically said that the plot is you just want to get to rank A, or is there still like a Final Four and all that bullshit in this series, like this sub
so
series, or not really?
not really. So like in the main entries, you have like the whole gym system or whatever that you're ranking up in. So in this, you're basically ranking up in this ZA tournament
Okay.
style. And that's not like the main, there is still a story going on outside of it, but a lot of it ties into where you're at in the
Good.
rank. So like,
Gotcha.
oh, you're not quite advanced enough to do this yet. So let's keep plugging away at this, and then it'll once you get to a certain point, then more of the main story missions open up that you're stronger to enable to to take on. And then it kind of jumps back and forth a little bit between like, let's get up a few more levels in the tournament, and then let's take on these things. Let's go back in and level up a little bit more, and then we can take on more stuff. So that's kind of how it seems like it's laid out. So, but yeah, it's fun. Like I said, this is a more condensed kind of Pokemon is kind of more my thing. So I am enjoying this. It's not like groundbreaking or like the best Pokemon game out there, but
Right.
it's fine for me at least.
Did it take a little bit of adjustment to get used to the combat in this, since Pokemon's been turn-based forever, and Arceus obviously was the first like real-time thing. But I think
Yeah,
that this game has different mechanics than Arceus, doesn't it? Or is it pretty similar
yeah.
to
It's
Arceus?
still it's similar, but yeah. So Arceus, whatever,
Yeah.
um, did kind of the real time, combat. This is just kind of taking it up a notch. Everything moves a little bit faster in this one. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's same kind of concept, just with some newer tweaks to it. So, but it didn't bother me because I would say Arceus was the first one that was like, whoa, this is a lot different. But once I started in this one, I was like, okay, I get it. I get what they want me to do. So yeah, wasn't really that hard to get into.
So we're 2 games into this subset series. Do you think this is the direction for the future of Pokemon? It's so hard I can't even really ask that. It's such a hard
I don't
question.
think so.
You don't think so? You think this is
I
just
think
the
they're
remaining
gonna
sub series?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that they'll probably continue with this Legends formula, but they're not gonna go away from the traditional Pokemon. I think they're gonna end up having like, your mainline and then your Legends series.
That's
I mean, this game
interesting.
did pretty well, I think, well enough to keep it going. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I kind of like that they're doing these
yeah.
two things because it kind of lets like different people who enjoy Pokemon or maybe don't, like it gives them a different way of playing it.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
some people like this formula more, and the diehards still definitely love the turn base. So
Hmm.
that's why I think they're going to keep both of these running. I don't know. That's just my guess.
Yeah, I just think that I don't know what I think.
The city's
Uh,
pretty bland. There's
yeah,
not really a whole lot
yeah,
going
I've
on,
heard
but
that. I was trying not to bring up the negatives, but
oh no, it has negatives for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. I enjoy Pokemon. I loved X and Y. That was like my favorite one because it had the national
Hmm.
decks and stuff, and you could get every Pokemon,
Right.
and the shiny hunting was fun and all that stuff.
Yep.
This franchise needs I think it needs something new. This is definitely new, but like they stopped doing Coliseum, they stopped doing the stadium games. I guess this kind of
Yep.
replaced the stadium games. I guess it's kind of a
Yes, a little bit. Yeah.
um kind of a alternative thing, but such a weird franchise. But
It is.
I think this game looks kind of neat. I actually didn't know how the progression works, so the battle zone system is actually kind of appealing to me. Um, yeah,
That's probably my favorite part, to be
yeah,
honest with you, is when the nighttime comes around, going in and battling these other trainers to level up. And then you basically each trainer that you battle in these battle zones levels up your so you have like a character level, but then you have your ZA tournament level.
hmm,
So when you're in the tournament, um, you're leveling up your position in the tournament. So I think that's pretty cool. And then once you fill up that bar, then there is like I wouldn't really say a final trainer, but there is like it is kind of like that. It's
hmm.
like a to you take down this final trainer that's at the level that you're currently at, and then you then surpass them by moving up a letter grade in the tournament. So It's
Gotcha.
interesting. Like I said, that's probably my favorite part of this game. So
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, and this game has got mixed criticisms as every Pokemon has as of late.
yeah.
But I think it looks cool, and like I said, I think the gameplay loop from what you're saying sounded a lot more interesting than what I thought. Like I said, I have not been paying attention to Pokemon for quite a few years now, but
Right.
I think the art style is cool. I
Just
think, and then the city looks bland, but it is detailed enough to kind of keep you in there. I think
it's
so.
yeah, it is. It's detailed enough there, and it's fun to explore. You're constantly finding these little like back alleys and these little paths up on the rooftops. There's like a sewer system that you can go into as well. So there's a lot more to it. It's just the look of it is pretty bland overall.
But
So
it's running good on Switch too, right?
it's running great. I forgot to do the thing that you said to
Oh, it's okay.
up, but yeah, it runs very smooth. Solid 60 on Switch 2. So yeah, no issues there.
One last question. So when you go into like the battle zone where you're leveling up in a tournament, do you have like a preview of what the Pokemon level is in that area, or you just have to go in and guess and hope you're leveled up enough?
You're always going to be leveled up enough because y- everything's kind of tied to where you're at in the tournament. So when you go into these battle zones, everyone that's in there is currently at. I don't know how they even set that up, but you're currently at about the level that everyone else is, and then the next time you level up and you go back into the tournament, the next time everything's a little bit stronger, but so are you. So it kind of levels with you as you go. It's very friendly. It they don't put a lot of like it's not very challenging.
So the tournaments are
So
scaled, so you can't over
yes,
level. You don't think?
no, nope.
Okay. Oh,
You
interesting.
you can't over level in the tournament. Like you could have your oh, I see what you're saying. You could have oh yes, you could have a much stronger Pokemon than the trainer that you're battling against. But yeah, you can't over level in the tournament itself. But yes, you can bring in much stronger Pokemon and pretty much easily, take out every trainer. I've never had an issue
Mm,
taking out any of these trainers.
yeah.
Um, because I'm doing stuff during the day that's also leveling up my Pokemon. It's just
Gotcha.
they keep you capped at whatever uh level you're at in the tournament, and then once you beat that, you go up to the next one, you go up to the next one, and so on. So
Gotcha. Cool.
yeah.
Pokemon
Yep.
ZA is out on the Switch and Switch 2, $60 on Switch, $70 on Switch 2. Looks pretty cool. Don't let the negativity bring you down if you want to check it out. Definitely try it for yourself and make your own
Yeah.
opinion. That's something we always say on this show.
Yep,
So
we sure do.
definitely do that. Like I said, if I had a Switch 2 of my own, I would probably play this, but I don't think I'm going to jack my
Yeah.
wife's Dicey Dungeons gameplay time away
No.
to play this. She loves Dicey Dungeons of all games.
I've heard of that one, yeah.
She loves that game. All right, so you ready to move
Okay.
on?
I am. Let's do it.
Oh, boy. Well, Crisol Theater of Idols is what I'm bringing to the table here today. This was my most anticipated game for the month of February. And it is a game, all right. I will say that. So, made by Blumhouse Games, game released at $17.99, so it is a budget title right off the bat, which is cool but concerning at the same time. You don't often see a game that drops at $17.99. That's a super budget price.
Yeah.
But I was attracted to this game based on the art style. I think that the styling is really cool here. I never really left my edgelord phase when I was a kid, so I kind of just dig gothic theming, gothic vibes, and really cool old school architecture, and that's all kind of incorporated in here. But to back it up a little bit, in this game you play as Gabriel, who is a member of the Church of the Sun. And the game takes place in the city of Tormentosa, which is basically a fictionalized version of Spain. And the city of Tormentosa was once controlled by the god of the sun, who headed the Church of the Sun. But over time, it's been overtaken by the Cult of the Sea, which is the rival religious organization on the island. And the Cult of the Sea has taken control of the island completely and redecorated and basically purged everyone from the Church of the Sun out of the city, and now they're all it's completely run by the Cult of the Sea. That's like the plot line through the game. I don't know much else. They're starting to kind of piece some things together throughout the story, but there was some conflict that happened that basically flipped this island on its head. So as Gabriel, you're tasked by the god of the sun, who talks to you directly and tells you to go in basically to Tormentosa and re-cleanse the island to take control of it or something. The story is really weird right now, to be honest. I'm about 5 hours in. I'm trying my best to understand it, but it's just going a lot of different places here. So it's very strange. As I mentioned, $17.99 release. So there, with that price, there are things that I'm willing to overlook in terms of what's on offer here, because they did release it at a budget price. Just quickly, before we go into the negatives, I do want to mention, the sound design in this game, along with the aesthetic, is incredible. This game is a horror game at heart, and what will kind of get your nerves up in this game is the sound design. It's not necessarily the enemies themselves or anything. There was one jump scare that got me pretty good, but the majority of the time, the tension is built through the creaking of these statue enemies that you can kind of hear approaching you and stuff like that. And just all of the sounds are done in a very nice way. So if you go into a new room, you're starting to pick up on like a dripping faucet, you'll pick up on all these different elements, and you're just kind of really trying to dial in to listen for someone approaching you from some direction. So the sound design is done phenomenally well. That's kind of how they get the tension built up in this game. And I do like the plot, for as confused as I am. I think it is going in a kind of cool direction. So those are positives for the game.
Right.
Back on to what I mentioned. $17.99, there are things that I can overlook. Things that I can easily overlook are the fact that all of the NPCs, so there's a group of remaining Cult of the Sun members that are labeled as heretics in the island of Tormentosa. And they all gather at the fair. They've basically taken control of the fair on this island as their home base type of thing, where they're kind of barricaded in, and that's kind of where you go between each story segment to upgrade your character and things like that. All of them are masked. It's a very obvious cost-cutting measure, so they don't have to animate a face. So I can overlook that. That makes total sense. I will mention as well, the graphics are a little bit outdated in this title. There is one character that you talk to. Her name is Melodia. And it just looks like a early PS4 era face. You know, faces have really come a long way in this generation. So that kind of looks a little bad. However, to kind of tie into that, the graphics discussion, the texture work in this game is really nice. So it's a very weird contrast. You have like early PS4 era graphics as a whole, but like the texture work on the bricks and the water texture and the fire texture and the lighting, that stuff all looks modern era. It's just like the overall graphical feel feels a little bit outdated. So it's an interesting game to kind of look at. So, but I can overlook that. Again, for this price, I'm not expecting the most high quality graphics. And then the other thing I can overlook is the lack of enemy variety. There's probably 3 different enemy types in the game that I've run into in the first 4 hours. There's 4 enemy types.
Okay.
But the interesting thing is when you hear the plot of this game, where you have the Church of the Sun and the Cult of the Sea, you think you'd be fighting cult members of the sea who supposedly rule the island, but you're fighting statues. So you're fighting these, statues that pop out of the wall and then they kind of creak towards you, which is definitely a little bit more eerie than just fighting a random human being. But at the same time, it's very strange because I don't really know I don't understand what the statues even have to do with what the fuck's going on in the plot here. You keep hearing about all these cult members and you're getting attacked by statues. So, but I can overlook that. The story in this game is told through if you're watching the video version, what you're seeing on screen here, you have little kind of flashbacky images that pop up when you get to a certain section. You'll see these red figures come up, and it'll give you basically a dialogue dump to get some background on basically what's happening in the world.
What's happened in the past, yeah.
And that's how they do that. There are cutscenes that are like storyboard format. They'll flash still shots. All this stuff is what you would expect for a budget release. You're not getting a very heavy CG, nice looking cutscene. It's presented to you in pretty much the most cost efficient way that it could be, which is to be expected. But what I can't overlook ever, no matter what the price of the game is performance. This game's got some performance problems.
No.
Yeah, it's
no.
And again, I will mention I'm playing on PS5. I'm not playing on a high-end PC. I'm playing on my PS5, not a PS5 Pro, just a base PS5. And when you get into the open environments that the game puts you in, it starts to struggle a little bit. You can kind of see maybe even from the footage some screen tearing when I swipe left and right. It's definitely something you can feel while you're playing the game, and it's a very bad thing when you're playing an FPS, because if you start to swerve to aim at enemies and you're getting frame tearing, it makes it very difficult to actually hit your shots. So that's something that is a massive issue, one that I can't necessarily overlook. However, if you get into many times a very claustrophobic and dark basement where you can't see a fucking thing, the game runs at 60 stable. So it just depends on where you're at. Just not optimized correctly. This could be something that could be worked on and patched in the future, but it is something that is quite a bummer going through it. But all in all, I think the game is okay where I'm at right now. I got to a little bit of a slump about 3 hours in, and in the quest line that I'm currently doing, I'm basically trying to, you're trying to hunt down these 4 cult leaders from the Cult of the Sea, and I just actually killed the second cult leader, so I have 2 left. So I'm about halfway through the game if you look at it from that perspective. And I was getting pretty discouraged there towards the end of this second little segment of objectives that I was working through. Yeah. But once I was fucking lost. So I was doing what I can't tolerate, which is me wandering. I was trying to figure out where the fuck I needed to go to get to this last bar to progress the story, and I was just fucking wandering. But I finally found it. Once I found it, everything kind of picked back up again. It got back in a spot where I'm okay kind of progressing with the game and moving forward. But I mean, honest impressions right now, I think the game is relatively cool. I think the enemies take way too much damage to kill. I don't know what the optimal strategy for killing these enemies are. Still 5 hours into the game. I've got the pistol, which you start with, and then I just unlocked the double barrel shotgun last night during my playthrough when I was working through it. Enemies take like 7 to 8 shots to kill, and I don't know what the fuck is going on there, because that is far too many. You can pop off like the head, and if you pop the head off, the enemy will kind of stagger. You can also pop legs off, so if you shoot their leg, they'll flop to the ground. But like, I've used the shotgun before and popped off the torso, the head, so there's just a pair of legs, and the pair of legs gets up. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? And then, but also, this wouldn't really be that big of a deal, except for the main component in this game is the fact that you have to use your blood as bullets. So you're constantly hurting yourself, squeezing your pistol to get the bullets in your chamber, and then it takes 7 bullets to kill an enemy. So you're always
sacrificing your health
to kill a bullet sponge enemy. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, so the game obviously wants you to make decisions on whether or not you pass an area and not fight the enemies, or if you fight the enemies. However, there's a witch in the fair that gives you skills and upgrades for your weapons. So if you don't kill the enemies, you don't get the resources required to unlock the skills that are in the game. So you have to take these combat encounters if you want to acquire the skills on offer here. You don't necessarily need to kill enemies to upgrade your weapons, because that's all done through silver bulls, which is like a little currency that you can pick up throughout the playthrough. But it does incentivize combat, and it's just incredibly difficult when it's this way. It might be more enjoyable to play this on a lower difficulty than the standard difficulty or something, or maybe there's a more efficient way that you guys know of killing these enemies in the let me know down below in the comments. I would love to know.
Yeah.
But just feels a little bit strange. Other than that, that's it. I'm going to keep working through this for the time being. I'm not going to commit to fucking rolling credits on this though. So just keep that in mind. I'm not going to be dead soul hard on it. I know it's around 15 hours for a playthrough, about a third of the way through if we're talking just straight hours, but I did wander around quite a bit, so I could be behind the schedule. But ultimately, I think it's decent. It's not a game I would recommend anybody right this second, but that's kind of where I'm at with it. So, yeah, Crisol.
That's cool. Yeah, I had some questions, and some of them you answered just in your explanation of this. But with the blood as the weapons, obviously you're sacrificing your health to load your weapon. How do you get your health back?
Yeah, so there's blood vials.
Okay.
So
that's kind of what I figured.
You get plasmarine syringes. They're fucking not everywhere though. I mean,
really? Okay.
It's pretty tight. I mean, it's a constant decision you have to make whether or not you want to get more ammo or just run, because you're not going to be stumbling into, at least on this difficulty. It did mention on the easier difficulty you have more supplies, so there's probably plasmarine syringes all over the fucking place, but at least on standard I've maybe collected a total of 10 in 5 hours.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's pretty strict on that.
What difficulty did you say you're playing it on? Just like
the
default
standard,
or
just the standard?
Standard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just one above.
So I wonder if they built that into the tension.
I'm sure that they did. I just don't know if it works properly. I mean, the game would feel so much better if I could pop a head off and do like 2 center mass body shots to kill an enemy instead of fucking 8 bullets. And that's with like double upgrades for my pistol. It still takes fucking forever to kill these enemies. And like, for example, if you play Resident Evil 4, you can shoot the legs out, walk up, and then execute them, like kick them in the face and they die. You know what I mean? It's like, that way you're able to save bullets and still execute the enemy.
Right.
In this game, you have a knife, but your knife is literally 4 attacks and the knife is dull and it does absolutely no damage. So it's just, you don't have the tools that you should have. You should definitely have some sort of execution or something to be able to reserve ammo and still be able to be competitive in combat, in my opinion.
Yeah, I noticed in a couple of the shots here, like eventually, like I guess when they die, do they kind of go up in like flames or something? Is that what's happening?
So they go up in flames and then you get their value in whatever currency they drop. And that's the currency
but you
that
never
you need.
know.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But you never know at what point you're gonna get to where they eventually die. You said you've
health
blown
bar,
off heads, torsos, legs. It's like
you never know. No health bar, nothing.
Right, interesting.
And like I said, it is literally 7 to 8 shots. It's fucking absurd. And even with the shot, like I said, I had a shotgun blast, point blank, blew a whole head and torso off, and then was attacked by a pair of legs. And it still wasn't dead.
Yeah, I saw that in the footage. Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is going on here? So
what is happening?
I don't know. I mean, it's an issue for sure, but all of it is built to increase the tension for sure, but it's just not a great gameplay feel at the end of the day. Also, to tie back into that, the gameplay feel in itself isn't the greatest either. It's pretty floaty, but again, that's another thing that I can tolerate with it being a budget release.
Right, with a budget. So, yeah. We had mentioned, like, before you even got your hands on it, that it kind of seemed BioShock-like. Do you get any of that feel through this or not?
No, not really. It's just aesthetically, it's pretty similar to BioShock.
Right, maybe that's all it is.
You're not getting skills or any fun little gameplay mechanics that you would see in a BioShock game. It's pretty straightforward, at least to where I'm at. There's a lot of puzzles in the game as well. You got to read notes and put puzzles together. The puzzles have been actually pretty enjoyable. I'm not a big puzzle guy, but these ones have been pretty fun just to kind of piece together. I will also mention, I forgot to say, the This game does use some generative AI, I believe. It's not been confirmed, but some of the posters, the promotional posters around the city, because I spent a lot of time in this game just kind of admiring it because I love the architecture, I love this visual style and things of that nature. And I came across a lot of posters that were talking about April 20-something or whatever. They're doing these events on this April, whatever. Then I came across a poster that said April 20-something. April. I don't think a human would fuck up the spelling of April. And it wasn't
so.
It wasn't just a stylized R. I mean, it was clearly connected at the bottom, and it was April something or another. So
Eesh.
if you can't tolerate AI generated stuff, they clearly used that a little bit in this game. That stuff doesn't really bother me as long as it's just used for me, if it's used as a asset to help a small team kind of get some stuff in the game, that stuff's fine. Once we get to the point where AI is making games itself, we're gonna have a bigger problem. But at least for now, I mean, I would be a hypocrite if I hated AI, considering we use AI assets to help for our show. I mean, it's just easier.
Well, yeah.
It's just easier. It's more cost efficient, especially when you're starting a show like this. We don't make any money off of the show, so it's just easier for us to utilize the systems that we have access to. So I can't be a hypocrite and shit on the game for having a poster that said April, but I will mention, because I know it is a controversial topic, if you can't tolerate that, they're clearly using a little bit of that here.
Okay. Well, cool. I don't really have anything else to add. So
yeah, I mean, I
don't know.
I mean, I had you kind of on the hook for buying it. I told you to hold off. I told my buddy Jay about this game, and we were talking in Discord, and he was like, you know, this game looks interesting. I'm not going to buy it for full price, but of course it released to $17.99. I know that he has picked it up. His opinion seems to be pretty positive on the game, despite the bullet sponge enemies type of thing. He had that same issue, so I thought that was a valid point to bring up. I will mention also, just quickly before we move on, I did have an issue with the autosave feature. I went and unlocked a bunch of skills. This is terrible, by the way. I went and unlocked a bunch of skills, and then I died and came back to my autosave, and I lost my skill upgrades. Completely gone. So then I had to go back to one of my manual saves to re-get that shit again. So that's pretty game breaking. Okay. So just make sure you save early and save often in this game in case that shit happens. I'm sure that's something that's going to be patched out, but it's definitely a bug.
Sure.
But yeah, hold off on this one. I would say if they start to work on the game a little bit, start pushing some patches out to increase the performance, you'd get a little bit better experience here. But right now, I would say just kind of hold your horses on it and see what it is. I mean, if you like the footage, be my guest. But
yeah,
that's my
looks
thoughts.
Interesting. So, okay.
Yeah. Cool. That is Crisol. I would say, unfortunately, my most anticipated February game might not be my favorite game in February. That's okay, though. It do be that way from time to time.
That's going to happen. Yep,
let's move right along. What do we got next?
All right. Okay. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Cloudpunk. I'm going to do my best here because I actually finished this quite a long time ago and hop back in to capture some footage and stuff. But I wanted to touch on it. This is a very indie game. I think it's out on most platforms. But basically, what this is it's a very atmospheric, story-driven delivery adventure. Is kind of how they described it. Yeah. Developed by Ion Lands. It's set in this like huge, like cyberpunk style metropolis. The city's called Nivalis, that you're basically driving and walking around in. And it's always raining. It rains 100% of the time in this game, but it's all just to, I think it's a combination of keeping the game running a little bit better. It's always very cloudy and misty and stuff, and you could tell it's an indie team that put this together. So I think that's just to kind of reserve some resources and stuff. So it's not, I mean, it runs fine, but I think if it wasn't set like this, it would definitely chug. And it does occasionally see some dips here and there. When you're flying around these very like, detailed cities, it's not like it's open world, but it's sections, big sections of open world. So you essentially fly through these like tunnels to get to a different section of the city, and then once you get in there, it's another big kind of open world area. It's very voxel style. Um, it's I think it's pretty. The characters are very, very, very rudimentary. Like the arm is like literally like a box, and the head is like a couple boxes together. So that kind of stuff is
Mhm.
very, very simple. It's still stylized. I do kind of like that. But basically the gameplay is split between flying your Hova, which is your basically your flying vehicle, through like there's like multi-tiered like lanes of travel that you can go through, and you can just completely go off the beaten path if you want. You fly your Hova flies a little bit faster if you're sticking to the essentially highways or streets and stuff, but you can fly anywhere that you want. And then you land in these designated like landing spots, and then once you get out, you can kind of run around and explore this little area. You're kind of limited to wherever the walkways and stuff are basically designed in these smaller areas. You still are in the open city, but you can't walk everywhere. Obviously, it's these skyscrapers and stuff are just massive. You don't actually even see like the bottom, like you never see like ground level in this. So it's basically just kind of showing you like this is a huge, like very cool city that's possibly even I think they hint on it that it's like built on top of like a pre-existing city, so everything's just going up, in this game. Yeah, like I said, very stylized, voxel art style, almost too voxel at times. Very, I put a note in here. It's very like Blade Runner,
Mm.
kind of
Mhm.
more Blade Runner than like even like the Cyberpunk 2077, which I think is cool. Um, but yeah, the scale itself is actually pretty impressive for what I would assume is a small team. But basically, you're like I said, you're kind of a delivery person essentially. You play as a character named Rania, and you have this AI uh, dog, essentially named Camus, who you basically talk to throughout the course of the game, and you get these missions sent to you through these message systems and stuff, and like, hey, we need you to go and pick up this thing and deliver it to this place. Sometimes it's a person, sometimes it's a package, and then the whole time there's like um, this kind of narrative that's going through the game about the like the evil corporation and stuff that's kind of sort of taken over. I don't know. The story is what it is. I didn't
Mhm.
get like super invested in it. But yeah, there's a lot of like side characters and stuff that you can do like little side missions for. Um yeah. Um very I think it's fun to look at. Um
Yeah.
Even with the like super voxelized style. There is no combat though.
Yeah.
It's another one of those type of games. I think I
Mhm.
touched on that caravan sandwich.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no combat, so you have no weapons or anything like that. So it's basically just about the exploration and just kind of soaking in the environment. The soundtrack is fantastic.
Oh, nice.
Very synthy, synth heavy.
Mhm.
Very definitely fits the whole kind of like cyberpunk um aesthetic of it too.
Nice.
Everything's fully voice acted as
Oh,
well.
very
So
nice.
even like the little side characters that you run into, that some are definitely better than others. Some of
Mhm.
them are very, very stiff,
Yeah.
but you'll have that in
Expected.
this type of game.
Yep.
Yeah, you collect a lot of these little like uh, there's not really even an upgrade system. A lot of the stuff you're collecting really doesn't do much. So you can sell it. And that part I don't even think needed to be in there. I think it was just a reason to explore, I guess. I mean, the map is they got all this stuff scattered out. You can go and collect them, but it really doesn't do anything. And like if you sell stuff, you can buy food, which doesn't. also do anything because there's no health or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the only thing, like the only resource, is like you have to eventually fill up your car with gas. It's so
Okay.
it's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're flying around, you got a little gas meter and stuff, and it's very like it goes down very very slowly. So I mean, I'd be playing this for hours and finally be like, oh yeah, I should probably put some gas on my car. You can damage your vehicle as well. So there's like these little repair shops, and you just so I guess that's kind of where some of this collecting would come in, where you collect stuff just to basically sell it to get some money to to get your repairs and your gas for your vehicles. So
Gotcha.
yeah, that's Cloudpunk. Did I even win this? It's been out for a while.
I don't think you said when
I don't
exactly,
even know.
but that's fine.
No,
It's
I
been out a
didn't. I
little
don't know.
bit. First
Yeah.
question: why the fuck
Yeah.
would you want to make more deliveries after work? What is your fucking problem, sir? What a joke! He's just trying to
That's a
work
good
more.
question.
What an idiot!
I'm working more.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm working more.
No, this game looks cool. It gives me very like it is super voxel. It gives me like PS1 kind of styling, but maybe that's just the footage.
No, it is. It's just it's very yeah, it is very PS1, but with this
Modern
like
finish.
filter almost on
Yeah.
things. Yes, with like a modern finish to it.
Yep.
So it's just it is very pretty to it sometimes it even takes you out of it because with the voxel art style, everything's obviously very, very blocky and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And these cities, you know, when you're talking about skyscrapers, buildings and stuff, everything's very square. So everything looks like you would think that it would look until you get real close to some of these like anything that's like
Right.
curved is very like just like stepping stones of blocks. So but yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty for being a voxel style game.
Any time limits on deliveries? Any challenge at all, or is it just an exploration, totally exploration game?
It's mainly exploration. There are some things that you pick up that you have to get to their destination within a certain amount of time. I mean, to be honest, like the delivery thing is a big part of this game, but it I feel like you get about halfway through or so, and it does kind of like switch to like you trying to figure out, you know, if the company that you're working for is even legit, and there's a lot of like mystery and stuff
Mm-hmm.
to it, which kind of keeps you going. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Game looks cool. Looks like a Jason game all over the place.
it
Just
does. I
fucking
know.
going around and around. So yeah, really. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if there's really anything you can compare this to, other than like maybe like a Journey, kind of like a maybe not even
Maybe.
that. It's very
No.
very unique gameplay style. I mean, I asked about time limits because I was going down the crazy taxi path, but it's clearly not that either. So
No, no.
very cool little game. $24.99 goes on sale frequently. PS5, Xbox Series, PC, and original Switch. Looks cool.
Yep.
Yeah, you said you beat
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I beat it a while ago.
While ago. Yeah.
I was gonna put in the time. I mean, I probably put 20 hours. This
Damn,
one.
dude.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that was me. You know, I've talked about this before. I spent a lot of time just
Wandering.
exploring, wandering around,
Yeah, cool, man.
finding stuff,
This game looks
even though it
cool.
doesn't pay off in the end.
Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah,
it does,
it is.
though, and that's what it's all about. Let us know what you guys think
Right.
about Cloudpunk in the comments down below. This game looks pretty cool. Feel like it
Interesting.
would put my ass to sleep, though. So
It might.
yeah.
Yep. It's not like super exciting. It's just it's a vibe. It's definitely like a vibe game.
I got no problem with vibes games at all, so I think this game looks dope.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing it up, dude. Appreciate it. Last thing we're going to talk about in gaming section today is I played the Mina the Hollower demo. This is a PS5 exclusive demo, which I thought was kind of odd. I don't really know why that's the case, but this was shown at the PlayStation State of Play, which we're going to talk about a little bit more in the news section. I really haven't followed this too much. I know that there's been a lot of talk about this game. It's obviously made by Yacht Club Games, who made Shovel Knight. This is kind of their next project. Been in development a little while, been delayed a couple times, but it's finally looking like it's getting to the point where this game's about to drop. And basically, if you're not watching the video feed, it's got a very top-down, kind of old-school Zelda-esque kind of aesthetic, very 8-bit style graphics, which look very nice, by the way. But you basically just kind of go around and you smack shit up, and you play as this little rat that has an ability where she can burrow underground to go under walls and things like that. But really, it's not doing a whole lot outside of like the traditional, isometric top-down dungeon crawling thing that you would expect from a game like this. However, it's got that retro look, but it feels really, really nice to play. And so it's just a really modernized version of one of these types of games. I guess in the demo, they kind of said that they were going for like a Game Boy kind of vibe. Yeah. And I can definitely see that. I played through this game. In the demo, you had the option of 3 weapons. There was twin daggers, which I used because I'm a basic bitch and I like my daggers. But there's also a chain, a mace, like a little mace ball with a chain that you can use, and a massive slow hammer that does a lot of damage. So there's a couple of weapons you can go through and do this demo over multiple times. There's no way to unlock different weapon varieties in the demo itself. You have to do a whole nother playthrough. Playthrough took me about 35 minutes. Granted, I haven't played a game like this in a very long time, so it took me a little bit of time of getting used to, all these mechanics again. So it took me a little longer, and I did die a few times. But demo does give us access to the first stage as well as the first boss, so substantial little amount of gameplay here you can get out of here. And all of this stuff does save over, so when you do purchase the full game, you don't have to do this over again. Cool. In the final version. I don't know exactly if this is going to be dropped everywhere else. I know the game inevitably is going to release everywhere else, so I'm assuming they'll put the demo out elsewhere. I think it's just a limited time exclusive to PlayStation. But ultimately, I think this game is very promising. It exceeded my expectations. Not that I had super high expectations going into it, but I think this game's got a really, really clever, cute art style. I think that the gameplay feels really nice. And again, the main mechanic here that I wanted to mention that's really unique to this game is the ability to burrow underground with your character. That's basically your main dodge mechanic in the game. The problem is the problem is to initiate the burrowing, you have to jump. So you really have to predict an enemy's attack pattern very early to actually be able to burrow to go under an attack to capitalize on it. It just takes a lot of preemptive timing. So that's something that's going to have to be kind of worked on as you play the game and get better at the systems. And then took me forever to figure it out, and this is probably just because I'm not very bright. But if you burrow, you get ramping movement speed. So if you need to make a jump that's over a large gap, you need to burrow first, and then get up to the end of the platform, and then unburrow, and that'll kind of launch you over to the other platform. So you can't just straight up jump across. You got to burrow jump, and that's kind of the main movement mechanic on offer in the demo. But ultimately, 35 minutes, there's not a whole lot to go through. And again, I didn't play with any of the other weapons other than the daggers, but very, very, very highly impressed with what was on offer here. Definitely moved up my interest list for the year. Really can't wait for this one to come out. I love this. Yeah,
like this retro look, but with modern gameplay elements.
Yeah, they just feel feels so good, especially when you if you've played these types of games from the golden era of gaming. It's just a completely different thing with how how seamless and smooth they feel when they get remastered and remade in the modern era. You can only attack in 4 directions though in this game, which kind of fucked me up. That was my next question. Yeah, that fucked me up quite a bit. It's not a bad thing. It just fucked me up.
You just got to get used to it.
Yeah. And that might not be true for the Mason chain. I don't know. Like I said, those other weapons might be a little bit more flexible in terms of combat, but you do get like throwable weapons, special weapons that you can use, like throwable axes and a boomerang sword and stuff that are kind of tied to a special that you get vials. It's very Castlevania in that way. You get like vials that will increase your inventory amount of your special abilities. And then also, once you collect enough bones from killing enemies or picking them up out of the ground or picking them up in the environment, there's a leveling system as well. So you get a level up, your attack, your defense, your special attack damage, and basically the amount of bones you can hold on to at any given time. So
right.
There's some light RPG elements in here as well. I don't remember if Shovel Knight, I think that was a budget launch as well. I would imagine this game would probably be released a little bit cheaper than full price. I don't know, but...
Yeah, I don't think the Shovel Knight games were overly expensive. I think like $24.99 was kind of the price that they were at. I'm kind of surprised though. Like I never really got into the Shovel Knight games. This, for some reason, this looks more enticing to me, than the Shovel Knight ones did. I also, the art style, even as simple as it is, I feel like I like this. I think the colors,
Yep.
like seem to be a little bit better than they were in the Shovel Knight games. I think that was one of the things that turned me off. I think the only Shovel Knight I really dove into was Shovel Knight Dig, which is kind of like this sort of roguelite thing where you're basically constantly digging down with your shovel like over and over and over again. But yeah, this looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool, plays great. This is definitely one to keep on your radar. This is, again, got Jason written all over it. This looks like a game you would absolutely love. And I love it too. I'm going to definitely be covering this when it releases, and I think $24.99 sounds right for final release. We don't have any data on that, but that just definitely feels like...
I was just...
Yeah, that feels like what this game would release at. So, yeah, I definitely don't expect 70 on this fucking thing at launch. But,
no.
Yeah, really, really cool. I'm very excited to dive into this. I think Shovel Knight is actually dope, by the way, so I'm not going to judge. But,
I know.
It is a cool series. Yacht Club's doing
sure.
good stuff.
Yeah.
And this game, very impressive. So... That's pretty much it. Again, it's a demo recap. There's not much else to it other than that. Just very promising from what I got my hands on with this one.
Awesome.
So hell yeah.
Mina the Hollower.
That's demo cool. On PS5. Nothing else yet. I would be absolutely shocked if we don't get demos for other platforms here as we continue to move towards release for this one.
This looks like a Switch game, basically.
100%. This game would be an incredible Switch Steam Deck game for sure. Oh my gosh, be perfect on that.
It's on the eShop is coming soon, so I know it's coming. It's just it's just like you said, it's surprising that it's the PlayStation that got the demo first, but
very strange.
Whatever.
Anyways, yeah, cool. So that's it. That's it for games this week. Kind of nice little variety there, as we always do. Very good stuff.
How we do it.
We're gonna go ahead and take our first break. I will say, and then we will come back and we will get into our regular old news discussion. So stick with us, guys. We will be right back. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Spawn Point Podcast, section number 2, where we talk about the news, everything going on in the industry. First big piece of news that we have for you guys today is I got my mic arm, a new mic arm, so I'm not one-handed.
Hey.
Not one-handed. Let's go. This thing's kind of a piece of shit.
We should have started with that.
This thing's kind of a piece of shit, though. Yeah, no shit. I should have mentioned that, but I didn't think about it until this little table I have it mounted on. Fucking Roscoe keeps coming up here and fucking moving it all over the place. But
I see his mic just kind of moves back and forth when he's not there.
Yeah, it's my fucking 30-pound fat ass cat, Roscoe. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the news here. First piece of news, I have to kind of eat my words a little bit, y'all. Highguard is dead. It's not officially dead, but pretty much dead, as Wild Light Studios has laid off the majority of the development team for this game. They've kept a skeleton crew on board, which I believe is just there to kind of drag the game through the year's worth of content that they've kind of already pre-made to kind of keep the game alive for a year. But it's effectively dead at this point, which is sad. So I refuse to take back any comments that I said about this game. I think this game is still super fun, and so I don't have any issue reiterating that point. But yeah, it sucks. This is a bummer. But it's the live service model. It's a piece of shit. It sucks, and it is what it is. This is what happens when you make a multiplayer only game that doesn't quite connect with audiences, and unfortunately, here we are. So You know, I spoke highly of Highguard. I enjoyed Highguard a lot, but I will say I've not played it all week, so I'm part of the problem. That's kind of, you know, that's why a game like this doesn't succeed if people aren't devoting every ounce of their being into it. So it kind of makes sense, but it's sad. I think this game had a lot of potential, and again, it'll be around for the. There's no statement of this game being pulled yet. But with news like this, that if you're plugged into the industry and you know that an entire dev team is laid off, a lot of players are going to vacate just because what's the point? We know this game's going to get wiped off the planet. There's definitely no point in buying micros for this game. You know it's going to get removed at some point. You know, so you know, any hype or any remaining hype that the game had kind of flushed down the toilet here. So that was a quick one, but stinks.
It really does stink. And like I mentioned this, I haven't tried this. I used to like these kind of things. I've just kind of bounced off, and maybe I'm part of the problem too. But I just hate seeing we've talked so much over the last few episodes about the industry, and it's not getting any better. It's getting worse. And this team put a lot of work into this, and thanks for making it. Peace out.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it's so bad.
It's not only, I mean, it's a live service problem. People they expect players to play this and only this game. And it's just not how, it's not how, well, it is actually how most gamers play, to be honest. We're kind of outliers beings that we play a vast majority of things, but there's been surveys done that most gamers only buy like 2 to 3 games a year and that sort of thing. So it's sad. But this is just
very sad.
It's going to continue to happen. Live service games require a massive audience. There's just a lot of games out there right now. It's hard to grab a community and hold on to it. So, anyways,
for sure. Bummer.
Preemptive rest in piss to Highguard. It's essentially on its way out. Concord 2.0 rumors were pretty accurate. Moving on from there, more bad news. Riot Games is downsizing the 2XKO dev team after a disappointing launch. This is not surprising to me or Jason. We both played this game, thought it was pretty mid at best. Just wasn't a very fun fighting game, I will be honest, and I love this IP. I think that the art style was nice. They clearly put a lot of work into it, but they made the game too noob friendly, and it kind of ruined the experience. It wasn't something that anybody felt like they had any real reason to grind out because it was so pretty bland. I'm not gonna lie. So this is another sad thing. Basically, the statement the developer said the full launch on January 21st hasn't reached the level needed to support a team of this size long term. Makes a lot of sense. This game was simply not good in my opinion. So it doesn't surprise me at all. But again, we've talked about this on the show prior. Thought I would include it in here as well.
I not to go off on a whatever, but let's just say that hypothetically, Fortnite has to shut down. Do you think that has an effect on this kind of stuff? Like, you think there's such a pull to that, and maybe not just that, but these games that have been running for years that people just don't seem to want to jump off of to try other things. And you mentioned it yourself. These are hard to it's hard to compete in this space, but
I think it's easy to look at the big mega games like that and think that would disperse the gaming audience out to more games. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think in Fortnite's case in particular, that was a cultural phenomenon, not a gaming phenomenon. There's a lot of people that weren't even interested in video games until Fortnite exploded, and then all of a sudden now everybody's playing Fortnite. So I think if Fortnite goes away, that community of gamers just goes away. I don't think they necessarily play games. I don't think they necessarily find something new. So, anyways,
that's a good point. Anyway,
it's just I don't know. This is in here because we talked about it. That's pretty much it.
No, that's cool.
Not sucks for those guys, but game stinks. Anyways,
it really does. I hate to see this, but I threw in this little thing. This is kind of older news by this point, but Overwatch has dropped the 2. So there is no Overwatch 2. It has gone back to just Overwatch, which is kind of confusing. In the process, they did release 5 new heroes. Um, I used to play quite a bit of Overwatch. It was the one game of the style of games that I say I don't really play that much of anymore. This online stuff that I still did enjoy. I loved the art. I loved the characters. I mean, now there's so many that I don't even know who half of them are
Mm-hmm.
anymore. But yeah. So I'll just touch on this real quick. Da, 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 da. The first season of this new like refresh is the Reign of Talon. It's a year-long story arc that kicks off. Well, it already kicked off 5 days ago on February 10th. So, Overwatch 2, which Blizzard is officially renaming just Overwatch, like I said. This is written by someone who got a chance to play this update apparently ahead of time. So, um, this guy's saying it finally feels fresh again thanks to the new heroes. Um, the new sub roles help further distinguish its tank, damage, and support heroes, which all of the characters fit into one of those three, classes: tank, damage, and support. So, um, and then players can expect one new hero to launch with each Reign of Talon season, each introducing other game updates like character reworks, new maps, and quality of life changes. Yeah. So I don't think so. Just to touch on the new characters, Domina is a tank. She has a proton magnum as her main weapon. You've got Emre, who's a damage character. Um, Anran, which is another damage character. Looks like she throws some kind of blades or something, like a fan blade. You got Mizuki, which is another support character. And the controversial one that I've been hearing about is Jetpack Cat, which is a support character as well. I didn't catch all of the why this one was controversial, but it seems like people are like trying to keep Jetpack Cat out of the matchmaking. So I don't know if it's because it flies around or what,
So
but
this character has an ability called Lifeline that allows you to transport allies or enemies. So you can like throw down a tow rope and move someone all around. So that could be used as a ally fuckery. You know what I mean? You could grief
sure,
with Jetpack Cat.
yeah, yeah.
But that's
I don't know.
that's what I heard.
What thoughts? I mean, like I said, I used to play a lot of Overwatch, and I thought with this, there's also a dedicated Switch 2 version that's coming. It plays fine on the Switch 1 version plays fine on the Switch 2, but it would be cool to have it run a little bit better, look a little bit nicer. So I don't know. I might jump back into this and check it out and just kind of give an update on how Overwatch looks and feels now compared to how it has.
Yeah, for sure. Unlike you, I don't like these hero shooter. I don't like the style.
Yeah, no,
I just don't. So it's not my go-to necessarily. I played a little bit of the first one. The second one, what a weird kerfuffle that was when they just killed Overwatch 1, made it Overwatch 2, renamed it, and now they're renaming it back to Overwatch. Whatever, dude. I mean, what the fuck is that going to do? However, dropping 5 new heroes at once is a solid move to get people back into the game. This does intrigue me a lot. I probably will play this again. It's just not, hero shooters like this aren't really my typical style, but I'm open to everything. And how do unlocks in this game work? I think I had access to every character at Overwatch 2 launch. Is it all cosmetic micros, or are these characters locked?
I think that's so. I did re-download this yesterday or the day before. I know the Switch 2 version's coming, but after reading this, I was like, I just want to check this out again. And it looked like I could pick every character.
That's cool. That's the way free to play needs to be.
Yeah, and then obviously you can get the cosmetics and the skins and stuff. I think I kind of like this too because it's not really like a pay to win style.
Yep.
Free to play game. So
yep. Cosmetic only micros are the right way to do it for sure.
I think that's how this is how they're doing this one.
I think so
So
too. I mean, I, I swear to God, I'm not a Debbie Downer. I feel like I just have
no, I
the
know.
shit opinion all the time, and I'm not trying to be that way. But like, this is another. I feel like Overwatch would be fucking incredible with a group of buds. You know what I mean? Like if you had a group of
Yep.
buds, you could go in, you could all pick a
Yep.
a different class and whatnot, and just go in and have fun together. It'd be great.
Yep.
These games are not that fun by yourself, and that's kind of what I always have to resort to. And it's just I'm not. My days of talking in pub lobbies are behind me. Okay, I'm not into that. I'm not trying to make friends on a game I'm playing. I want to play with my friends that I have, but I'm not trying to make online friends, if that makes sense. So anyways, yeah, I would be down for sure to download this, and maybe we can jump in and play some games. Maybe do a little Twitch live stream, and if anybody in the community wants to join, maybe you guys can hop in and we can add you too.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
this game,
That could be a.
I think this game does have cross play. I would be shocked if it didn't.
It does have crossplay.
Yeah, so
Yep, it
let's maybe plan on that in the future too.
Yeah,
we're making all these plans
sure.
for two dudes that have no fucking time.
Hey, man, we're gonna have to just make time. And with this game, like I said, I don't play a lot of these types of things anymore. But there was something about this one that did have a pull for me. It was a combination of the art that I liked.
Yep.
I like you. I'm not like a huge hero shooter. I don't know who these people are, but it was simple enough. Like each character has their own like abilities and stuff, but it's not overwhelming. Like I think that's one of the things with me in these types of games is like, oh my God, where do I even start? This I feel like this is just easy enough to be able to hop into each new character, give them a whirl. Also, I felt like I was actually decent at this game.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't at the top or the bottom. I was always kind of in the middle of the row with these. So
I'm
I think because it can get pretty chaotic in the middle. But with that, you've got like I always found a little place to kind of hide around like the side of a wall and just freaking pick people off.
Yep.
I don't know. This is one of those games where I was actually able to play decently and get a good kill streak going. So
yeah, no, I think this would be fun. I do want to revisit it, and I believe that they re-added in 5v5. Wasn't Overwatch 6v6, and then they re-added 5v5, so that's good.
They re-added 5v5. I did see that in the menu.
6v6 gets a little fucky. It's a little too chaotic for me.
It's a little too much.
The nice thing about hero shooters, and this goes back to what you said, is that there are characters in these games that are built for maybe not the most accurate shooter and things like that. So I love to play damage dealers, but when you play solo and you're in a group of 5, you're going to have another damage character in the game with a dedicated support attached at their ass cheek, and then you're just kind of left to your own devices. And when you play like that, you get fucking slaughtered. So I ended up playing like Winston all the time because Winston was super healthy, and I knew I could just fucking go bullshit jumping into combat, throwing people off the wall and shit, because you could play that role alone and it's fine if you went in with just Winston and fucked shit up. So yeah, let's plan on diving into this. I do want to get into it. Sure. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And join us, by the way, damn it, Devin. I know you play video games. Join us.
Yeah, we'll put the word out and let you guys know when we're going to do something like this.
Yes, so
you can hop in.
Cool. Yep. I'm going to get this downloaded after this if I don't forget. Remind me. I'll probably not. I'll probably forget. Next one is you as well. I don't know dick about this either.
Yeah, this okay. So I don't even think I need to even go into the article all that much about this. I wanted to just touch on what this game was. So Replaced finally has an Xbox Game Pass release date 4 years since it was revealed, and this was one of those that I was kind of happy that I didn't know what this was until fairly recently. So this whole 4 year since reveal thing doesn't really doesn't matter to me because now I'm just hearing about it for the first time. But it did get a release date of March 12th, which is coming up pretty soon. So what I wanted to talk about real quick was just what this game is. It's a 2.5D sci-fi retro futuristic action platformer developed by Sad Cat Studios, published by Coast Sync. Don't know who that is. Um, it features a dark cinematic story where players control Reach, an artificial intelligence trapped against its will in a human body within a dystopian, alternate 1990s America. So I just thought, I mean, the combat is like free flow action. I saw somebody compare it to like the Arkham style games, but in a 2D space, which I thought was
Oh,
kind of cool.
yeah.
So enemies have these little things that pop up when they're about to attack. You can counter and kind of go back and forth. So I watched a guy play. I don't know if I didn't say anything about having a demo, but somebody must have got access to it. So I was watching a guy stream this for a little while, and it just the art
Oh,
and the
yeah.
set piece looked awesome.
Mhm.
And this guy, the whole time he was playing it, he was just like, "Man, this feels better than it has any right to."
Ooh, good.
So yeah, I mean, everyone that I've seen that's it been able to touch this or something has come away very positive.
Good.
So I just wanted to throw this in there in case you hadn't heard of it, um, or anybody else out there hasn't heard of it. This looks like it could be really cool.
I have not heard of it.
So
No PlayStation release. This is Xbox Game Pass, PC Game Pass, though. I could play it on. This game looks super cool. You
yeah,
got the trailer pulled up if you guys are watching the video version.
yeah,
Phenomenal art style. I mean, we got to think of some better
yeah.
words to say, but I mean, shit, the art style of this game looks
Oh,
fucking great. The lighting looks dope.
yeah, it looks great.
Very pixel character on like this
Yeah,
pixely 2D, very well lit background with really cool looking ass combat. So
it's just that this I don't know if this is a you game, but this is
no,
definitely
this is a me game.
a me game.
As long as it ain't
Okay,
Metroidvania,
perfect.
I'm into it. So this fucking
No,
thing
I
looks
don't think
dope.
it is.
I don't think it doesn't look like it to me at all. So
No,
yeah, this game
it
looks
just looks
like an
awesome.
action side-scrolling game. Looks cool. Very nice.
Yep,
So that's cool.
yep,
Thanks for bringing that one
yep.
up. I had no clue of it. Now it's on my
Yeah, just
radar.
wanted
Of
to touch on that.
course.
Good,
Beautiful. More money I got to spend this
right?
year.
Well, it's on
Um,
Game Pass.
I don't. Yeah, I could buy
I know
PC
you
Game
don't
Pass. I
have
guess
PC Game Pass.
I might actually still be paying for it. To be honest, I had it
Yeah,
for a
it's
long time. I'm probably still paying for it. Who knows?
yeah.
Anyways, that game
You got to
looks
get on Rocket Money and
cool.
see how many subscriptions you have.
We're not sponsored
Rocket
by
Money,
them. Fuck
not
you.
a sponsor.
Hey, you want to sponsor us? We can get your Rocket Money ad out to a total of 32 people. Let's go, baby.
That's what you want, right?
That's what you need, Rocket Money. Hit us up, SpawnPointNetwork at Outlook.com. That was SpawnPointNetwork at
One Point
Outlook.com.
Network at Outlook.com.
Anyway, moving on. Replace looks very cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I dig that. I
Yeah,
didn't get an ad for this, so there's our stupid faces. As we talk about the PlayStation State of Play, we watched this together, reacted to it. This is the thumbnail. If you go to YouTube, you can find this thumbnail. That'll give you the entirety of the live cast that we did when we recapped the whole show, where we watched everything that came out. I will say,
Yes, sir.
I thought this show was really fantastic.
Dude.
Just a lot of great
was
stuff came out
so
of this
pumped.
State of Play. First thing they showed was Kena Scars of Cosmora, which is the sequel to Bridge of Spirits. This is the first time Jason saw the franchise, and
Oh,
boy,
my
oh
God.
boy, did they show it in a good way. That game looks really, really nice. Graphically, very impressive. The combat looks great. Yeah, that game looks really, really phenomenal. No firm release date on that one. They just said 2026. So that one looks cool. That one had Jason wanting to buy a PS5, I think. So
It absolutely did.
yeah, so
Actually, a lot of the stuff in here did.
Yeah,
So,
so-
that was just they came out swinging in this.
yeah, they really did bring their A game here. So next thing,
Yeah.
this is not in the order of how things were shown, but Control Resonance stood out to me
Oh.
as well. Very cool looking game. I didn't even research it. I guess it's in the Remedy's franchise, but it's made by a different team. This is a hack and slash
Yeah.
game. Very complex with the ability to switch perspectives and jump on walls and ceilings and stuff, which looks like it's. I'm going to be interested to see how that plays. That seems like it's a little
Yeah.
complex, but it looked very
It's
nice.
wild.
Looked very polished. That game's coming out this year as well.
Well, and we both mentioned the same thing. If you guys are at all familiar with the infamous
Yeah, dude.
series, it
Yeah.
it reminded us both of of Infamous, which is a very good thing because
very
both
good thing.
loved those games.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to mention that. It did look like a new Infamous, but not Infamous. Looked very, very cool. John Wick was announced. I had no clue this was coming, but that game actually looked pretty cool, actually, from what we saw. We didn't see a lot of like gameplay stuff. They did have some in-engine kind of clips for executions and things like that, but nothing too deep. And this one just said, I believe, coming soon. I don't even know if it gave us 2026 or not.
I don't think it did.
So that's cool. That's be interesting to see how John Wick is ported over to
represented
in a
game worlds.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be interesting to see for sure. They showed more 007 First Light. That game looks cool. I think actually was more impressed with that than I thought I would be. I got cats fucking brawling, I think, in there.
I hear 'em.
They also showed Castlevania Belmont's Curse, a new Castlevania finally. They had this whole segment with Konami. This is Konami, right?
Yeah.
Am I fucking stroking out?
Yeah, it was Konami.
They had this whole section with Konami. They basically had this whole section with Konami. They're porting Metal Gear Solid 4 and Peace Walker to PS5. Cool. And then they announced Belmont's Curse, which is the first new Castlevania side-scrolling game in a long time. Art style looked cool, very Dead Cells. When I was watching it initially, I wasn't too sure on the art style. It grew on me. I actually rewatched the show, and that looked a lot better than I thought it did when I first watched it. So that game looks cool. We've talked about Metroidvanias. I don't need to go into that any further. Star Wars Galactic Racer looked incredible. They showcased that. I'm not a big Star Wars guy. Jason is a big Star Wars guy, but
I am.
I'm always down for a new pod racer or whatever.
Yeah, this one looks
great.
It takes the pod racing formula, but then also like you don't just have to be racing pod racers. There's a lot. There's almost too many vehicles in the Star Wars universe. So it just kind of gives the option to a lot more vehicle types in this, and it looks like there's a pretty cool story going on in the background.
It does
as well. Really nice looking cutscenes and stuff that they were showing off. So yeah, looking forward to this one.
Yeah, this game screamed Motorstorm for me. Just a very nice looking Motorstorm. If you remember those games, but yeah, it looked really dope. They showed a lot more of Soros, the sequel to Returnal. Looks just like Returnal, but I'm always going to be down for more Returnal. So that looks awesome. Very excited to dive into that. One of the biggest surprises of the state of play was Project Wingless, the big cockfighting Dynasty Warriors
game.
What a weird game, but looks actually
super weird.
Looks really cool. I watched that one back too. I don't think we actually saw HUD elements, so I don't know if we saw it running. Again, this is going by a code name here, I believe, unless Project Wingless is the name. I have no idea when we can expect this game.
No clue.
But you literally fight as a giant chicken warrior. Strange, but looked cool with asterisks because we haven't really actually seen the game.
Just a big ass cock swinging some weapons around.
Beast of Reincarnation got its release date shown at this, which I think was news. I think so. August 4th, 26, Beast of Reincarnation comes out. And in line with Beast of Reincarnation, Project Wingless had a very similar art style. Kenna had a very similar art style. It's just the year of Asian forests is what Jason called it, and I think that's pretty accurate.
Yes.
So it's just that's the aesthetic that we're going with in 2026. So
it
will
sure looks like it.
See that in August, as long as it doesn't get delayed. And then they ended the show announcing God of War, the original trilogy, is getting remade. They didn't have any footage for us, other than they had the remake announcement presented by T.C. Carson, who's the original Kratos, not new Kratos, but he's reprising his role in that game. I would love to see some footage on that. I prefer the original trilogy to Daddy Kratos, so I can't wait to go back to that. And then they announced right at the end of the show, God of War Sons of Sparta, which was a shadow drop, came out the day of the show, which is a side-scrolling adventure game where you play as Kratos before he was the god of war. You play as him as a Spartan. So, and you play with your brother Demos. I bought it. Game looks sick. I'll talk about that next week. $30 for that game. So
Sweet.
I have that on the docket for next week's show. But it was a great show. I thought they really put their best foot forward there. So, couple things. I mean, I would have liked,
especially after watching the Nintendo Direct. You know, this one was just like leaps and bounds.
Yeah, it felt like there was more substance in the PlayStation 1. I did rewatch the Nintendo Direct too, and I was too hard on it. I think that Direct was totally cool as well. But
it was fine.
This was kind of a lot of big hitters, a lot of big projects coming. Yeah. PlayStation is, they're doing things, and it looked awesome. Looked really, really awesome. So that's about all I wanted to cover. If you want our in-depth thoughts on the show, go check out the hour and a half long video on YouTube with this thumbnail here. You can find it all there.
Check it out.
Yep, indeed. Moving on from there, we're going to Nintendo, but I supplied a fucking news article, so I'm covering it.
What's happening?
From Software owner reiterates that Duskbloods is still coming this year on Switch 2. He also said within that he tied in that Elden Ring is still on track for 2026 as well. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because at the Partner Direct, I was expecting some Duskblood footage. It was noticeably absent, so I was a little bit concerned by that, but apparently I wasn't the only one, because he actually came out and made a statement saying that they are still on track for this game to come out in 2026. This kind of screams to me like a holiday game for them. I think this is going to be a November, November drop.
I agree.
For Duskbloods. So anyways, I just wanted to mention that because it is still on track for all of us From Software fans waiting on the next From Software release. Next up.
Yeah, like Cam said, I was very surprised that this didn't get at least some sort of mention in that Direct. So I did not see a whole lot of Nintendo news this week that I really wanted to touch on. So I'm glad you threw that one on there. But I just threw this in real quick. We had mentioned a couple episodes ago about I think during our release talk or something. I don't even remember, but I had mentioned Pokopia, a very Animal Crossing like type of game, but involving Pokemon and all the Pokemon creatures and stuff. So I just threw this in because one, I mean, Cam had not heard of it the first time I had mentioned it. So and also this the guy who wrote this article on Insider Gaming, Josh Chialis, something like that. Anyway, Chalice, he got a chance to play it, and basically he said it looks like Pokopia might be another mega hit for Pokemon. So he just had a lot of good things to say about this. I mean, it's pretty in depth. If you guys want to check out the article, he got a chance to play a short demo of it and basically came away very impressed with what he was able to play. So in this one you basically I think you are actually playing as a Pokemon. I think it's the Pokemon Ditto who can copy abilities of other things. So you look like almost like an Animal Crossing villager, but you're this Ditto Pokemon that's taken on a human form, and you can still tell it's Ditto. It's very like ugly looking. But that's just kind of how they have both looked. But yeah, you basically get the abilities and stuff of other Pokemon to kind of build out this island or whatever it is that you are inhabiting.
Yeah, this is a very glowing article. Holy smokes.
That's why I'm saying, like,
glowing,
I didn't want to like really go into this because it is pretty long. I don't even know what to touch on this besides the fact that by the end of it, it sounded like he really enjoyed his time with this, and was kind of surprised with what this game is offering. So
yeah, based on I'm reading it briefly. This is exactly as you labeled it. It is a Animal Crossing Pokemon game, and everything that makes Animal Crossing great seems to be in here. Great. Pokio. What the fuck did I just say? Pokopia. I need to, this is one I need to put the old lady on to, because I'm sure she will fucking devour the shit out of this.
Yep.
So,
that is okay.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with this type of game at all. I would, no. I liked Animal Crossing. I might even check this out for myself. We will see. This guy's comparing it to, he thinks it's going to be as big as Pokemon Go. I mean, come on, man, chill out a little bit. This guy's fucking
relax.
Yeah, this guy's creaming his shorts over the demo, which is cool. I wonder if, so he said he played a demo. I wonder if that demo will get posted to
I
Switch.
thought the same thing when I was reading this. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Nice. Pokopia.
They need to put, with a new type of entry like this in a different style of game, they really do need to kind of put out some sort of demo for this, so that people that are concerned or questioning what it's like, it can get their hands on it. But again, it's Pokemon, so
yeah, they don't. It's fucking Pokemon, and they said Animal Crossing. They couldn't have said two. They could not have. They could not have mashed two more popular things together. Pokemon, Animal Crossing.
Nope.
I mean, that's it's gonna move units like hotcakes. I just hope it performs well, because that's been the biggest Pokemon issue as of late.
It has,
but we will see.
Yeah,
I think that's news.
Yeah, nice short and sweet news section. There just wasn't a lot. I mean, I think the PlayStation thing was probably the biggest, conversation starter there. Just kind of a light news week. So
I mean, we're trying to trend that way. We want the game to be, we want the pod to be heavy gameplay conversation focused, and then not so much news. And we like the news. We like to keep up on the news. It's good for us it's good for us as creators to know what's coming. Mm-hmm. So that's all nice. But this is a gaming podcast. We want to focus on the goddamn games that we're playing.
Goddamn right.
So that's it for the news. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, come back with the community section, and then we will wrap the show up. So sit tight, guys. We will be right back. All right, guys, welcome back to Spawn Point Podcast, Section 3. I keep wanting to say fucking Episode 3. We're on Episode 6. I don't know why I keep messing it up today.
We're at 6, man.
It's all good. Yeah. Either way, we are in the community section of the show.
And what do we have?
Fucking nothing. Come on. No, I'm just kidding, guys. It's all good.
Come on, guys.
But no, we don't have anything in there this week again, so it's just going to be Jason and I covering general stuff. So that's what we're going to go ahead and tackle here. So the thing I want to bring up, and this is maybe controversial, but I'm doing it anyways. I think that the Souls-like genre is long overdue for a revitalization. So what I mean by this is I am getting to the point where I have played so many of these, and they keep coming out with more and more Souls-likes, that I need some innovation in that genre. I'm about tired of playing defensively, waiting for an enemy attack, dodging an abusable attack, then hitting an enemy in an opening, and then resetting and kind of repeating the cycle over and over. Used to be incredibly challenging. They are still incredibly challenging with games like First Berserker Kazan that came out last year, which was an absolute brutal game to play through. So those games, they continue to get harder, but they're getting harder because enemies are basically moving faster, the windows are shorter, and things like that. And I want a innovation in this genre. And the way that I see the Souls-like genres, I see the Souls-like genre as an evolution from action RPGs. So I feel like we went from action RPGs to the next level, which was Souls-likes. I'm saying I want the next level. And I am not a game dev. I can't tell you what that move is or what the innovation needs to be. All I can say is I would certainly love for something else to be done in that genre to give us something a little bit new. I'm ready for it. I think that Sekiro brought in the parry mechanic to the genre, which was a nice addition. A lot of games are kind of poaching that. Games like Kazan, as we mentioned, Lies of P, have kind of poached the parry system. I want more. That's all I'm saying. I want more.
Sure.
I'm getting to the point where I'm a little bit. I'm finding it much more difficult for me to want to play Souls-likes, and I've beaten quite a few of them. I've beaten pretty much all of the notoriously very difficult ones. I beat Sekiro. I beat First Berserker Kazan. I beat Black Myth Wukong. I beat Bloodborne, which I didn't think was difficult. I beat Dark Souls 3, Lies of P. I've kind of been around the world there with some of the most difficult ones, or the regarded as most difficult ones. Just ready for a change. What do you think about that?
Okay, so I'm very glad you brought this up because Souls likes are not. It's not that I don't like them.
Mhm.
It's the difficulty thing. I mentioned at the very beginning of the episode. I try to stay away from games that I know are gonna piss me off. And I do agree with you on. Well, I mean, I agree that they need a refresh because the other thing outside of the difficulty of this genre of games is the yes, they're difficult, but I also feel like it's very like combat and mechanics first,
Mhm.
everything else second. I
Mhm.
feel like, when I play like I played Dark Souls, well, I played Demon Souls back in the day. I played Dark Souls 1 and I haven't really touched a whole lot of other Souls like games. There's a game called Ashen. You ever heard of that one?
I think I've heard of it,
A
but
very okay. I dove. I got quite a ways in that one because it wasn't overly difficult. But yeah, I just this isn't a genre that I've really diven dove into too much over the years. So I am looking for something new that might pull me back in. That's not overly difficult. And you
Mhm.
actually had mentioned that Kenna
Yep.
game as being semi Souls like.
I don't think it is. I think it's an
Um,
action RPG, but
you don't think it is?
no.
Okay, that's what I there. Sometimes there is a hard line,
Mhm.
or not a hard line.
Mm.
You, the difference between action RPGs and Souls likes.
Mhm.
I think it's the difficulty thing for me because I love action RPGs.
Yep.
But like you even mentioned back when you talked about racing games, you like to have a challenge, but sometimes you like to just blow the competition away. I like to feel like I'm this overpowered monster
Power
in these type of
fantasy,
games,
yeah.
and a lot of
Yeah.
Souls like games, yeah, they don't do that for
Nope.
me. So
They're not designed to do that.
yeah,
You don't
I
feel like a god at any point in those games. Um,
right.
I will counter your argument. There is great
Okay.
narratives in the genre outside of FromSoft. FromSoft is notorious for having lore baked into item descriptions and
Right.
things like that, which is very obtuse. Lies of P is a great narrative. I think First Berserker Kazan had a great narrative. Honestly, I think Sekiro's narrative was decent, even though that was from FromSoft. So there is narrative in the genre, but yeah, I mean, if you have to go into these games with the right mindset. If you can't,
Mhm.
if I mean, you have to go in knowing that it's going to be brutal. And I've just learned over the years, if I get stuck on a boss too many times, I get up and take a break, walk it off, come back, and then I'm usually in a better place. And I find myself just kind of shitting on the boss after that most times, except for the odd outliers. Ozma, fucking Ishin Ashina from Sekiro. I mean, there's some absolute brutal butt fuckers that will not give you a break, no matter how many breaks that you take. But that's part of the fun for me. I enjoy overcoming the challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to go in with the right mindset. But I don't know. I would just love to see. Maybe I would just love to see more. I would love to see the return of action RPGs again. Maybe that's all I need. Because it
Right.
seems like everything that should be an action RPG is now getting made as a Souls like, and I love Souls likes, but maybe I do want more
Right.
of the action RPG genre
So
to reclaim the throne a little.
right. And I think the whole reason I brought up that Kina game was that looked like my type of game. It
Yeah.
looked very almost um the new, Legend of Zelda, very adventure, fun, quick action. But then when you mentioned that, I remember when we were watching the thing, you're like, you said you don't like Souls likes, but this game I think is a Souls like. I know you said you're kind of taking that back a little bit as more
Yeah,
of a
I take it back.
action
I'll
RPG,
tell I'll
which
tell you
actually
why,
makes
but
me
go ahead.
more excited.
I'll tell you why I'm taking it
Um,
back to explain, but go ahead.
yeah, no, I think that was I just like um a good mixture of a good solid narrative with fun action. Um, I know I keep mentioning this Kenna game,
Mhm.
but that looks like my
You gotta get a fucking
style of game. That
PlayStation,
looks
brother. God
I
damn, you
know, dude, because
sweating for this one.
I that one just looked like up my alley
Yeah,
100%.
it looks
So
really good. I think the difference between an action RPG and a Souls-like game, or in the Souls series, is the Souls games are, like you mentioned, they're very mechanic driven. They're very you
mhm,
against the challenge. That is the whole point of that genre. So
yeah,
there's like no accessibility. It's the whole point. The whole point is to be challenged. In Kenna, for example, they showed multiple times where you were able to kind of jump back, go into the archery stance, and then the slowdown effect occurs, allowing you to land your shot on a weak point. That's like an accessibility feature that would just simply not be allowed in a Souls like. So that just screams action RPG to me. The only thing that's hard where it gets a little confusing is like Kenna is a game where you are going to have to dodge attacks. You know what I'm saying? You are going to have to
mhm.
have
Yeah,
that dodge poke combat that is familiar to a Souls like player, but there is some accessibility in there that will hopefully make that game a little bit more approachable. And I'm sure there's difficulty settings. And listen, if you are a gamer that can't play games on normal and you have to play them on easy, I got no fucking problem with that. Play the game,
nope,
play the game how you have to play it to get through it. Um, but yeah,
yeah.
I think it'll be more approachable. That franchise would be more approachable for you for sure. So
See, and I have it's not the mechanics of Souls likes that I don't like. I do like the the strategic, combat and stuff. I mean, there's bosses in uh, my favorite game, Breath of the Wild, that
mm-hmm.
are tough,
Yeah,
and it's just you have to kind of learn, the patterns and stuff and how to take them down. The issue that I always had in these was like if you did make a mistake, dude, I mean,
yep,
you get hit in some of those games and half your health bar is gone. And
yep.
that's what would piss me off. Like I can take on these challenges and stuff, and I do enjoy them. It's just when I feel like you have to be like on your game to take these things down. I'm not a perfect gamer and stuff, and these things hit like a freaking tank,
Yep.
and it's the difficulty. It's that part of the difficulty that
Yeah.
always turned me off.
I'm
So
not gonna persuade you into it, but that's a build problem for you. I play the game as a glass cannon. I play through every game as a glass cannon, so I experience that willingly. But you can build a fat
right,
boy that doesn't get two shot by every boss in the game.
right,
But
yeah,
anyways, that's it. I would like to see some, and I think honestly, based on what we just talked about, I think the answer is just more action RPGs. I think that's the answer for me.
I think it is too. And I love
Um,
that answer.
yeah, so I think that's where we're at
Love
with
that
that.
genre.
Great
Yep.
genre. All right, so no community questions this week. So I will give you a question. Question is,
Okay.
what series, franchise in gaming do you think needs to stop? What have we gotten too many of? What's outstaying its welcome? What needs to be killed, in your opinion? This is a little bit of a negative connotation to the
No, I don't
positive,
care.
optimistic man himself.
Well, I mean, one of the first things that popped in my head was Call of Duty, but
Yep.
I don't think that's gonna stop. That was my first thought. I'm just like these games
I don't think
every
it needs to
year,
stop. It needs to be biannual or something. It needs the release
something
schedule needs to be changed. I don't think. I
something needs
think
to
there's a place
change.
for Call of Duty. It just needs to be changed. I don't think
There's clearly a place for Call of Duty because
that's not a
they're
yeah.
still popular.
I
But
mean, it
Jesus,
does corner. It does have a corner of the market. It's an arcade shooter that's not a hero shooter. That's not a
right.
massively prioritizing multiplayer team focused. It has its own place. It just needs to. It needs more dev time instead of annual release where the game is the same every fucking year over and over. So I don't agree with you on that. I think Call of Duty should still be around. Give me another one. Come on now.
Oh, come on, man.
I'll tell you one. I think Assassin's Creed could be stopped. I think that series is way overdone.
That's a good point.
I think we've kind of done everything we can with that. I think that it should have probably stopped with Black Flag, maybe before Black Flag. I don't even think Desmond Miles was in Black Flag. I think they pivoted. I think Desmond was done after
I think so.
3. I think he was done after 3. Could have stopped there.
Right.
That series is long in the tooth and overstayed its welcome, in my opinion.
Well, and then every one that comes out with is just this another massive, hundreds hours. They would play these games for freaking ever.
The identity is completely different than what it was on the original games.
Yeah.
They're now like a historical romp more than they are an Assassin's Creed game, and they just kind of keep the threads of the animus and shit from the original games just to kind of have a loose tie-in. But they hardly represent Assassin's Creed anymore. I mean, fucking, we just got Valhalla. That was a Viking game. It had nothing to do with being an assassin at all, hardly. I didn't play Shadows, but they're selling those off of name value, and they hardly represent what the franchise even was. So anyways, I think that series could be squashed into a puddle.
Good point. Yeah. You got me really thinking on this one. I didn't look at this question ahead of time. But those two good.
How about this? Let's reverse it. What do you think needs to come back? What's been gone too long? What needs to come back? We just talked about one.
We did. Actually, there's a couple that I think could come back. So obviously, I'm a big Nintendo guy.
Mm-hmm.
We've been waiting for F-Zero for frickin' ever.
Damn
I would
right.
love to see an F-Zero game.
I would too.
Come back. Those games were always super fun.
I have a question though. Where does that fit in the modern market? Because we have like Aero GX, which is an indie like Wipeout. We have Wipeout, which is pretty much F-Zero. Where does that fit in the market now?
So I think the only place that it would properly fit is the Nintendo fan base. I think there are, you got your diehard Nintendo fans who acknowledge that these other games exist that are like their precious F-Zero, but they are not F-Zero.
Yep.
So I still think you're going to get a massive amount of people that, go back all the way to the Super Nintendo with the original F-Zero, and have just wanted a new F-Zero game. I couldn't even tell you the last one that came out. I mean, F-Zero's
GX was the last one.
GX was the last one.
It was GameCube 2003. That was the last one.
Ah, damn, man.
And F-Zero, by the way, F-Zero on SNES, dude, download a fucking emulator on your phone or something and play that game. That game's awesome. That game is so good.
Really?
It's got the best, dude, that soundtrack is maybe the best. Well, no, Clair Obscur exists, but it's one of the best soundtracks of all time.
One of the best ones.
I love the Big Blue theme on that game. It's such a good.
Oh, the Big Blue theme is fantastic. I think I mentioned this earlier that I still hop into F-Zero 99.
I don't even know if I've played that one. I just played the original.
Okay, so that is basically, it looks like the original F-Zero.
Mm-hmm.
They took the original F-Zero art style and put it into a battle royale.
Oh shit, that's right. I fucking forgot about that, dude.
Yep.
That's on Switch?
That's on Switch.
Oh god, I gotta fucking play that shit, dude. I forgot about. I totally forgot. I thought you meant
start. Yep.
I thought you meant F-Zero 99 apostrophe from 99. I had no fucking clue what you were talking about. Yeah, I need to play that.
F-Zero 99. It's great. It's still great, and it's one of those few of the 90. They came out with Tetris 99. They did.
Yep.
There's been a couple of these. This one's still going because the gameplay is still.
Yeah, dude, I have to play that. I have to go up and get my wife's Switch after this and fucking play.
Yes. So you
have to buy that.
It's so chaotic. No,
okay.
I don't think so.
Oh, fuck, I gotta play that shit.
It
might just be included in your subscription, but
it might be.
Damn, I forgot all about that shit.
it's chaos though too, but it's so fun. Like you start with 99, obviously characters on
Mhm.
this, like it's the same
Yep.
tracks that, but then you funnel everyone in to this like track, and it's just chaos. And then obviously the separation between the better players and
Yeah, it starts to
more
break
unlucky
down.
players,
Yep.
it starts to break down and stuff. But it's still a ton of fun.
Mm,
A pretty cool leveling system and stuff. So yeah,
that's
I
awesome.
mean
I
that I
fucking
guess
forgot
that's
about that.
technically the last F-Zero game, but not really.
I don't know if that counts. I
But
want a
yeah,
mainline.
I don't think that counts. I don't. No, I don't either. And we did mention on another one during the Xbox Direct how
Ooh, we're
they,
going
or
different.
maybe no, I think it was Ubisoft um had mentioned that Splinter Cell is
Yep.
still in there.
In their roster.
I
Yep.
was always a big Splinter Cell
Yep.
fan, so that
Agreed.
would be fun to see another one of
What was the
those.
last one there?
Um,
Conviction? Or the new one after Conviction? I think the last one was
I don't
Conviction. That was
remember.
360
It
days.
might be.
You're
That was
missing one
three.
we
Yep.
just fucking talked about on Thursday.
Oh, dude, you're gonna have to.
Infamous, dude. Come on, we just talked
Oh,
about
dude.
Infamous.
Oh, dude, you know how my brain works. It doesn't.
Infamous hasn't been
Um,
dormant that long. Had a PS4 release, Second Son, but that's a fucking great franchise.
oh,
Unfortunately,
dude.
Sucker Punch is tied up with Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yote. But I
Are
would
they
take Infamous over
continuing that line?
I have no clue.
Like, any more
They,
ghosts
in
of?
my opinion, they should not have made Yote. Should have kept that franchise
Right.
with Jin Sakai's story and then gone back
Yep.
to Infamous. There's not really anything. I mean, both of those games had no tie into each other. It's hardly, they're not, continuous,
Right.
is what it is. I have a lot that I would like to see back. I'd like to see Twisted Metal come back, which we heard they were in development on a live service Twisted Metal game, which fucking sucked, but they canceled it.
Yeah.
So there's still kind of hope. I want a single player. Give me a new Black. Give me Black 2 or something. Like,
Oh yeah.
that would be fucking awesome. There's a franchise called Prototype, very similar to Infamous back on the PS3 days. That series was dead,
Yep.
and that game was awesome too.
Yep.
There was 2 of those. Did you play Crackdown at all?
Yeah.
I liked Crackdown
I
1
did.
a lot. I thought the
1?
first one was the
Yep.
shit. 3 sucked bad. That's not really dead. I guess
3 was not fun.
3 was very not good. I don't know what happened there, but that could come back. God damn, what else? There's a lot.
I know. I'm trying to think.
Motorstorm's been gone for a
Motorstorm.
while. Haven't done a new one of those. I really think that Galactic Racer game might have some people from Motorstorm. I really do.
You keep saying that, and I agree. I think it looks like it's a Motorstorm style game. So
Wipeout. No,
Wipeout.
yeah. No, I'm thinking of Flat Out. Remember Flat Out? Ultimate Carnage.
Oh right.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, Burnout. What happened to Burnout, bro? Burnout
Yep.
3 Takedown was a fucking banger, bro. Oh my God.
I was just gonna say that because I one of the things that popped in my head was the Midnight Club games.
Yep.
Which I thought were decent, but
Mhm.
then my brain switched over to Burnout, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Burnout was an awesome franchise.
Burnout.
I don't know if I like Paradise
you
that much.
ever-
I like the more chaotic linear series.
I didn't really either. Were you ever a Deus Ex fan?
Nope. Sorry.
No. Okay. Nope. That's fine. I always enjoyed those. It's been a little while since we've seen a Deus Ex game. They did just release, and I keep meaning to try it, but the System Shock.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of
remaster.
good stuff about the remaster for
Yeah,
that.
I keep meaning to give that one a try, and that was kind of the game that kind of what Deus Ex was kind of spawned from, was that System Shock style, very like intricate, all kinds of like these upgrades, kind of a stealthy style game where like everything is interactable. There's multiple branching paths to get to wherever you want. It's kind of like a condensed, it's not really open world, but it's like a path that they're leading you down a path, but with all multiple different ways of getting there.
Mhm.
So that's what I always liked about the Deus Ex games.
I would love
So
to. You know what? We forgot you can kill Goat Sim. You can get rid of that franchise.
totally forgot about that. That needs to be
Gosh,
done.
big time. Anyways, that's yeah. What else you got? I mean,
What
I've
was real quick?
yeah.
Infamous. Who did the Jack and Daxter games? I
Oh
always thought
yeah,
were
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Jack 3, man, I played the crap out of that.
Jack had a good kart racer too.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah, what was the Ratchet and Clank?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not too old at this point, but I always thought those games were fun.
Conkers.
So
could Conkers even be made in this day and age?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, High on Life exists, right? Come on, we could do Conkers.
Right. Oh, did you see anything about that? Like
High on
that
Life
game
2's doing fucking super good.
Yeah, I think that looks pretty awesome, and the whole
really
skateboarding mechanic.
Yep. I started the first one,
just,
and I just started, but I'm having a blast.
Yeah, it's fun. They're funny. So yeah,
all right. Well,
I think that was
we ramble casted there at the end. Yeah. So
yeah, it's all right.
That's gonna be it for episode 6. Gosh.
Yeah.
The Rest in Peace Hops show, dude. He gone.
Bittersweet.
He gone. Never talk about him again.
He gone.
Other than that, thanks so much for watching, guys. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, leave them in the comment boxes on whatever platform you're watching on, or send us an email, spawnpointnetwork@outlook.com, spawnpointnetwork@outlook.com. And I think that's a show. Anything else you want to end? Oh yeah. Shit! No, I got to do shout outs. But go ahead. Anything else you got?
Oh, I don't think so. I think we covered what we need to today.
All right.
So
cover what we need to. Shout out to Alex Lurkins. He got pissed at me because I ripped off like people that I was shouting out at the end of the last episode. And he's like, "Thanks, dude. I listened to every fucking episode all the way through. You couldn't even say my name." So
thanks, Lurkins.
Thanks, Lurkins. Hope you enjoyed your son's birthday and your fucking Yingling that you got at the Globetrotters game. He fucking sent me a picture of his Yingling.
He sent me a picture of so his older son got his younger son a Joy-Con charging like stand or whatever, but he got the Switch 2 version. So he sent me a picture. He's like, "Hey, you want this?" I was like, yeah. I don't have a charging stand for my Joy-Cons yet. Yeah. I was like, "How much you want for it?" He's like, "Nothing. I just want it out of my house." I'm like, cool.
Yeah, he was talking to me about getting a PS5, so that guy might be fucking jumping back in.
Dude, that's what we need. That if nothing else, hopefully this podcast can get our non-gamer friends that somehow listen to our show to
jump in, join the pod. Even if you don't have any real gaming knowledge, we can guide you through. We're gonna be talking to like maybe your brother about some sim racing stuff soon.
Yes. So he sent me a picture of his new wheel that he got, this monstrosity thing or whatever, and I had mentioned to him back when we first were getting started on this about possibly popping on and talking about some sim racing, and I brought it up again, and he's like, absolutely. Yeah. So look forward to that coming up. Pretty soon we'll have a little segment on sim racing. He's been doing it for years. So
yeah, that'd be fucking awesome. Pretty knowledgeable in it too. So,
yeah.
I got to make new overlays for more people.
Yeah,
I think
you can do it.
I think max of 4. I think I'll make some overlays with at least 4 webcam boxes. I think that's max.
Yeah. I think that's max.
Probably shout out Randy as well. Randy Sheriff. He listens to slowly, I guess. He just found out we were on Spotify, and I guess he's been listening now. He was listening on YouTube, just segmented, but anyways. Shout out to Randy. He is kind of a piece of shit. Big F1 guy with you though, isn't he?
Yeah, big time. Yep, we talk about that a lot. And I'm kidding. He's not really a piece of shit.
Yeah, no. Obviously,
we give each other shit all the time.
Yeah, obviously we joking. Yeah, and then obviously Jordan and Devin who are in the Discord. Appreciate y'all.
Yep. Everyone that continues to listen, we appreciate it.
Yep. I don't know why, but we're trying our best to grow. We're doing our damn best. Hey, tell your friends and family, get your parents to subscribe. We need 50 subs to be able to live stream on YouTube. So if you want live streaming content, make some. I don't think I can even say that. I'll get banned. You know what? Fuck it.
What?
Make some secondary and tertiary YouTube channels and subscribe to our podcast. No, I'm just fucking. Obviously don't do that. But
we want to do it, but we want to do it naturally.
yes, correct. Other than that, that's a show. God damn, what a good one. That was a good show. Thanks for joining me, Jason, as always, man. I appreciate
Absolutely. As always. Had a blast.
We will do it again next week, and then obviously stick on the YouTube for more random shenanigans. Did a demo playthrough yesterday, and then I put a live stream VOD from my Cresol playthrough last night as well. It went up today, on Sunday, the day yesterday, if you're listening to this live. Jason needs to start doing some gaming videos.
I will.
Are you? Really?
I know I keep saying that.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. I gave Jason all the assets so he can edit it all himself, or he can just send it to me and I can do it too. But
I want to try to do it though.
Well, you need to buy a PC, bitch.
That's my next thing that I need.
Well, how's that going to happen? You need a PS5 too.
I don't know.
You got to sell the house. You live in a tent down by the river and have a PS5 and a computer.
And run an extension cord from somewhere.
So. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of spots downtown you can probably weasel one in. We could just move into the quarter barrel. God damn, we need to get out of here. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. You guys are the best. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Take it easy.